Every day you face choices that shape who you are and where you're going. Some days it feels easy to stay on track. Other days it's hard to keep going. What if there was a way to build a habit so strong that it keeps you moving forward no matter what? This book is about how small, consistent decisions, day after day, can make you unstoppable. It's not about sudden leaps or perfect moments. It's about showing up, making a choice, and doing it again and again until it becomes part of who you are. You'll discover how to take control of your daily actions, handle tough moments, and keep pushing even when motivation fades. This isn't about quick fixes or empty promises. It's about real changes you can make in your life every single day. The process will challenge you, but it will also build strength and confidence inside you. If you want to improve your life, build resilience, and grow step by step, this guide is for you. Keep reading, and you'll learn how to turn daily discipline into your most powerful tool. You'll find practical advice and honest encouragement to help you stay focused and committed, even when things get difficult. This is your chance to take charge of your future by mastering the simple but powerful habit of consistent choice. The journey starts now. Chapter 1. Choose to show up every single day strong. The difference between the life you dream of and the life you settle for is hidden in one choice you make every single day. That choice is to show up, not to wait for the right mood, the perfect conditions, or the magical feeling of motivation, just to show up. Not when it's convenient, not when you feel ready, but always. Showing up strong doesn't mean you're never tired. It doesn't mean you're always confident or fully prepared. It means you step forward with what you have, from where you are, because the commitment to be present and engaged is what transforms ordinary days into something meaningful. Most people underestimate the power of being consistent. They chase excitement, wait for perfect timing, or rely on inspiration to get started. But life doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who act. You don't need to be brilliant every day, but you do need to be reliable. You need to be the kind of person who keeps showing up even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's when character is built. That's when resilience is formed. That's when your future is quietly shaped. Not in grand moments of achievement, but in quiet decisions to stay committed when no one else sees. Each morning you wake up. You face the same choice. Be passive or be powerful. You can drift through the day, distracted, reactive, and half engaged. Or you can rise with purpose. You can train your mind to say, no matter how I feel, I will show up and give my best today. Not because every day is easy, but because every day is worth showing up for. If you skip one day, it's easier to skip the next. If you break your own promise once, it feels easier to do it again. Soon, your self-trust erodes, your drive weakens, and you start to feel stuck. The only way out is to start showing up again, fully, honestly, and strongly. You don't have to feel confident to be consistent. You just need to honor your word to yourself. That's where real power lives. When you stop abandoning yourself, when you stop breaking your own agreements, you begin to see who you truly are. You begin to trust your own actions. Every time you show up strong, even when it would be easier not to, you earn something no one can give you. You earn your own respect, and that kind of self-respect is the foundation of all growth. Showing up strong is not a performance. It's not about pretending to have it all together. It's about being present and giving your full effort to what matters most, even if you're uncertain, uncomfortable, or afraid. It's saying, I choose to care today. I choose to focus. I choose to stay disciplined. Strength is not a personality trait you're born with. It's a decision. It's choosing not to quit. It's doing the hard thing when it's easier to distract yourself. It's standing tall when your mind tells you to shrink. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You don't need the perfect plan or ideal timing. You need a decision that you will not betray your values just because you're tired or frustrated. You need to remind yourself every morning that your actions matter. The way you handle the ordinary hours of an average day matters. If you only show up when you feel motivated, your life will be ruled by emotion. But when you commit to showing up regardless of how you feel, you begin to rule your life with discipline. That's where freedom begins. That's where peace grows. Start with the first hour of your day. How you begin your morning sets the tone for the rest of it. You don't need to conquer the world by sunrise, but you do need to wake up with intention. Don't grab your phone first. Don't drown yourself in noise. Instead, take a moment to center yourself. Breathe. Get clear on who you want to be today. Not someday. Today. Ask yourself, what does it look like for me to show up strong today? Then do that. One decision at a time. Discipline doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with clarity. Clarity about who you are and who you're becoming. Clarity about what really matters in your life. When you're clear, you don't need constant reminders to stay committed. You don't rely on other people to push you. You know why you're doing what you're doing. And that quiet knowing becomes stronger than the noise of excuses or doubts. When you have clarity, you start to see daily decisions as opportunities to build your future, not burdens to endure. There will be days when showing up feels useless, days when you don't see progress, when the results are slow, when no one notices your effort. But those are the days that define you. That's when you learn whether your commitment is real or conditional, whether you're showing up only for outcomes or because it's who you are now. You become unstoppable not by always winning, but by always continuing. It's easy to show up when things are going well. It's a whole different thing to keep showing up when life tests your patience, your strength, and your hope. This is how you become different from who you used to be. This is how you move beyond past patterns and excuses. You stop asking if you feel like it, and you start asking what needs to be done. You stop seeking permission, and you start building your own standards. This is how you take control of your life. Not by changing everything at once, but by showing up fully for what's in front of you right now. That's where your power lives, in the present moment, in the next decision, in the next action. Most people live on autopilot. They wait for life to push them. But you don't have to wait. You can decide to push yourself. That's what showing up strong really is. Doing what you promised yourself without waiting to be told. Making yourself proud by following through. Even if you fail, even if you fall short, showing up keeps you alive inside. It keeps you in motion. It keeps you in the fight. The moment you stop showing up, you start giving up. Not all at once, but slowly, one skipped choice at a time. And if you don't catch it, that becomes your pattern. So start small. Choose one area of your life where you've been absent, inconsistent, or distracted. It might be your health, your work, your family, or your personal growth. Pick just one and say to yourself, today I will show up strong here. I will give my best here. I will not avoid it. Then do the same tomorrow, and the day after that. This is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about becoming the kind of person who lives with purpose instead of drifting. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Show up even when it's inconvenient. Do the work even when no one applauds you. Be reliable, not only for others, but for yourself. When you know you can count on your own actions, you begin to walk through life with a calm confidence. That confidence doesn't come from what you say, it comes from what you do. And the way to build it is to keep doing what matters. especially when it's not easy. You're not here to wait for greatness. You're here to create it through daily effort. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't more talented or more lucky. They're simply more consistent. They take ordinary days and turn them into stepping stones. They fail and keep going. They face obstacles and keep working. They get discouraged and still show up. That's what separates them. That's what will separate you. You are stronger than your excuses. You are more capable than your doubts. You have everything you need to begin. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, you don't have to wait to feel ready. You just have to act. Choose to show up today with strength, with focus, with courage. Choose to show up again tomorrow. Do it until showing up is no longer a question. It becomes your nature, your identity, your way of life. Showing up strong is not something you do once. It's something you repeat until it becomes who you are. And once it becomes who you are, you become someone who cannot be stopped. Not by fear, not by failure, not by fatigue. You build a momentum that carries you through the hardest days. You earn a mindset that holds you steady when everything else feels uncertain. That is what real strength is. That is what will move your life forward. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right thing, and do it every day. That begins with showing up. Today, fully. No hesitation. No excuses. No delay. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs present ones. It needs people who show up strong, even when it's quiet, even when it's unseen, even when it's uncomfortable. That is how you become unstoppable. Not by accident, by choice. Repeated every single day. Chapter 2. Commit to one promise and keep it daily. When you make a promise to yourself, you begin to reshape how you see your life. That single commitment, done with honesty and consistency, becomes a quiet revolution. It teaches you to build trust where it matters most, within. And that kind of trust can't be borrowed, bought, or inherited. It must be earned, through action, one day at a time. A life without self-trust always feels unstable. You question your choices, second-guess your potential, and never fully believe in your direction. But the moment you commit to one meaningful promise and prove to yourself that you will keep it, something shifts inside you. You start to carry yourself differently. You start to believe that your future is being shaped, not by chance, but by your own actions. One promise kept every day is not small. It is powerful, because most people break the agreements they make with themselves. They say they'll start tomorrow. They say they'll follow through when they feel ready. They say it matters, but their behavior says otherwise. And over time, that gap between intention and action becomes a deep source of personal doubt. The way to close that gap is not to do more. It's to do one thing fully. One promise, one non-negotiable act, done daily, without excuses, without delay. That is where strength is born, not in doing everything, but in doing one thing consistently and with full commitment. The promise you make doesn't need to be dramatic. It doesn't have to impress anyone. It just needs to matter. It needs to be something that improves your life, strengthens your mind, or grounds you in discipline. It might be getting out of bed at the same time every morning. It might be drinking a set amount of water. It might be writing for 10 minutes. It might be reading something that feeds your mind. Whatever it is, what matters most is that you treat it like a sacred responsibility. Not because it's huge, but because it's yours. You own it. You protect it. You do it even when life gets noisy. Once you pick your promise, remove the option of not doing it. Take away the space where negotiation happens. Don't ask yourself if you feel like it. Don't leave room for stories or justifications. You don't need permission, you need resolve. Discipline begins where negotiation ends, and you only learn the real power of commitment when you show yourself that your word is stronger than your mood, that your choice is stronger than your excuse. Keeping a promise to yourself every day is an act of personal leadership. It says you can trust yourself to follow through, even when no one is watching. That kind of reliability builds identity. You stop being someone who wants change and start being someone who lives it. One act done daily becomes a pattern. The pattern becomes proof. The proof becomes belief. And belief shapes behavior in ways no motivational quote ever can. Every time you keep that one promise, you reinforce your self-worth, not in words, but in experience. You show yourself that you can be relied on, and over time, that reliability builds momentum. Momentum doesn't come from doing something big once, it comes from doing something small without fail. When you repeat your commitment day after day, it becomes part of how you live. It no longer feels like effort. It feels like integrity. It becomes your standard. The days you don't want to keep the promise are the days that matter the most. That's when the value is highest. That's when it counts. Because it's easy to keep promises when things are smooth. But when life gets difficult and you keep going, that's when you change. That's when you grow. Because you prove to yourself that your character is stronger than your conditions. That you are not defined by how you feel, but by what you do. And that kind of growth is lasting. One of the most damaging habits is breaking your own word. When you tell yourself you'll do something and you don't, you teach yourself not to take your words seriously. Over time, that habit erodes your confidence. You stop trusting your own decisions. You hesitate more. You doubt more. You feel stuck. Not because you lack potential, but because you've weakened the connection between choice and action. The way back is simple, but not easy. You rebuild that connection by keeping one promise, just one. But you keep it every day, no matter what. You don't need to wait for clarity. You don't need to wait until you have more time. You need to pick something meaningful, commit to it, and act on it daily. That's how clarity is built. Through action, not through thought. Most people overthink and underact. You must reverse that. Act more, think less. Follow through. Track it. Keep it visible. Remind yourself that this is who you are now. A person who keeps their word. A person who follows through. The promise you choose should feel personal. It should feel connected to a part of your life that you care about. Don't pick what sounds impressive. Pick what will quietly improve you. Your health, your mindset, your habits, your learning, your discipline. That's where power grows, not in the spotlight, but in the structure of your days. If you want different results, you must live by different standards. And those standards are built one kept promise at a time. Write it down, make it real, put it somewhere you'll see it, not as a task, but as a declaration. This is what I do every day. This is who I am becoming. Every day you keep that promise, you are becoming someone stronger, clearer, more disciplined. You're no longer driven by impulse. You're driven by direction. That shift is everything. It's what turns wandering into purpose. It's what turns frustration into confidence. Because now you have a system, a principle, a practice, not just an idea. Even when life changes around you, that one daily promise stays stable. It becomes your anchor. On chaotic days, it keeps you grounded. On slow days, it keeps you moving. On difficult days, it reminds you that you are still in control. No matter what happens, you can still show up for that one commitment. That control becomes strength. That strength becomes belief. And that belief changes your relationship with everything else in your life. This is how you raise your standards without overwhelming yourself. You don't try to fix everything at once. You choose one thing. You do it with full focus. You honor it like it matters, because it does. You stop trying to manage life with scattered energy and start living with deliberate effort. That is how results are created, by repeating a small act of self-respect daily until the result becomes undeniable. If you ever feel like giving up, don't make a decision in that moment. Just do the promise. That's it. Do it tired. Do it unsure. Do it frustrated. The act is what matters, not the mood. You don't need to win every day. You need to not quit every day. That is a deeper kind of success. One that lasts longer than applause. One that gives you peace at night. One that builds a foundation you can rely on when everything else feels uncertain. In time, you will not need to remind yourself. The promise will be part of your rhythm. It will become natural. Not because it's easy, but because it's yours. You built it, you earned it, you lived it. And that kind of ownership gives you quiet confidence. You no longer wonder if you're making progress. You feel it. You no longer question if you're capable. You prove it. One action at a time. One day at a time. You will have days when everything feels heavy. You will question your direction. You will feel doubt rise. That is normal. But none of that removes your ability to keep your promise. Doubt is not a stop sign. It's just part of the path. Keep moving. Keep choosing. Keep showing yourself that you can stay the course even when you don't see the finish line. You're not doing this to impress anyone. You're doing this to become someone you're proud of. That is enough. Your life will not change overnight. It will change slowly, steadily, quietly, through the repetition of one small act done with full commitment. That is how mountains are moved. That is how legacies are built. One promise, kept daily, no excuses, no delay, just action. Over time you will look back and realize that everything began with one choice: to keep going when it was easier to stop. That choice changed everything. And now it's your turn to make it. Chapter 3. Build one small habit that improves your life. A single habit can change the direction of your life, not because it's big, but because it becomes something you rely on every day. When you focus on building just one habit that improves your life, you simplify your path. You remove the noise. You stop overwhelming yourself with trying to change everything at once, and you begin to create a rhythm that works. A rhythm that is sustainable, meaningful, and consistent. That's how true transformation happens. Not through massive effort followed by collapse, but through steady steps that become automatic through repetition. Every day you wake up, you are guided by habits, whether you created them intentionally or not. The way you think, react, speak, and spend your time is built on routines. Many of them are invisible, and that's what makes them powerful. What you do without thinking shapes what you become without realizing it. The problem is, most people never stop to question the habits they live by. They wake up, move through the motions, and wonder why they feel stuck. The way out is to create one habit that serves you, one action that strengthens you, one practice that lifts your life. The key is to start small. So small that failure feels impossible, because this isn't about proving something. It's about creating something that lasts. When you build something small and repeatable, you create consistency. And consistency matters more than intensity. It's better to walk 1 mile every day than to run 10 once a month. It's better to meditate for 2 minutes daily than to try to force a long session and quit by day 3. Small builds strong. Small becomes automatic. Small leads to growth that feels natural, not forced. Pick a habit that makes your life better in some way, physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. It might be drinking a glass of water when you wake up. It might be writing down your thoughts before you sleep. It might be reading 5 pages of a good book. The size doesn't matter, the direction does. Is this habit moving you closer to the life you want? If the answer is yes, start there. Start today and remove the pressure to do it perfectly. Just do it consistently. Once you've chosen your habit, make it obvious. Attach it to something you already do. If you brush your teeth in the morning, place a reminder right there. If you check your phone first thing, change your lock screen to reflect your new habit. Remove friction. Remove barriers. Make it easier to follow through than to skip it. If you leave it to memory or motivation, you'll miss days. If you integrate it into your environment, it becomes part of your identity. It's important to avoid the trap of waiting for results. At first, you won't notice much change. That's normal. That's the hidden stage of growth. Habits work like planting a seed. You water it every day, but you don't see anything right away. The roots are forming beneath the surface. If you stop watering because nothing is visible, you never give it a chance to grow. But if you keep going, if you stay patient, the result will reveal itself in time. You'll wake up one day and realize this small habit is now a natural part of who you are, and your life is different because of it. Building one habit teaches you more than just the habit itself. It teaches you patience. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to simplify your focus in a world that constantly demands more. You don't need more goals. You need more follow-through. One habit followed through with care and consistency will outperform dozens of goals that never become reality. Because goals give you direction, but habits carry you there. Don't get discouraged if the habit feels too simple. That's the point. It should feel manageable, even on your busiest or most difficult days. The goal is to make it part of your foundation. Once it's stable, you can add to it, but not before. Master one before you chase 10. Focus is your greatest strength when building discipline. Scattering your effort only guarantees frustration. Keep it simple, repeat it daily, and let your consistency speak louder than your ambition. There will be days when you don't feel like doing it. That's expected. You're not failing on those days. You're training. You're training your mind to act. Despite how you feel, you're training your body to follow through, even when your thoughts resist. The more you honor the habit on hard days, the stronger it becomes. That's when it stops being a task and becomes a trait. That's when it becomes part of you. Track your habit, not to obsess over perfection, but to stay conscious of your effort. A simple mark on a calendar, a checkbox in a notebook, or a log on your phone can keep you connected to your progress. It's not about judgment, it's about awareness. Seeing your streak build gives you momentum. Missing a day doesn't erase your work, but it reminds you to return. The goal is not perfection, it's return. Return to your habit. Return to your commitment. Return to the path you chose. Sometimes your mind will try to tell you it's not working, that this one habit isn't enough, that you're wasting time. Don't listen to that voice. That voice comes from impatience and fear. You're not here to rush. You're here to build. That takes time. Let others chase shortcuts. You choose the long path because it leads to something real, something lasting, something you can build your life on. One solid habit is better than a dozen broken attempts. What matters most is that you take ownership. No one can build this for you. No one can repeat it for you. You must decide that this habit is your responsibility, that you will show up for it. that you will protect it from excuses, from distractions, from the chaos of the world. Your habit is your anchor. It grounds you. It reminds you that no matter how uncertain life feels, there is still something you can control. That kind of control is rare, and it's yours. Eventually, you will look back and realize that everything changed because of that one habit. You'll see how it influenced your choices, your mindset, your direction. You'll realize it wasn't just about the act. It was about who you became through the act. Someone consistent, someone focused, someone who finishes what they start. That transformation doesn't come from pressure. It comes from presence, from showing up, from doing what matters daily. So begin. Begin with one habit. Begin with one step. Begin with one clear action that fits into your life and strengthens who you are. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for inspiration. Begin now. Begin today, and repeat it tomorrow. You'll be tempted to change it, to make it bigger, to start over. Resist that. Stay with what you chose. Let it settle into your routine. Let it become part of your structure. Then watch how everything else becomes easier because of it. You are not building a habit to impress others. You are building it to improve yourself. Quietly, honestly, repeatedly. That is where transformation happens. That is where peace comes from. When your days have structure, when your actions have direction, when your energy is no longer scattered, that is when your life begins to align, not through force, but through rhythm, not through pressure, but through presence. A single habit done with care becomes the foundation for everything else. Choose it wisely, practice it daily, protect it fiercely, and over time it will give you something more valuable than success. It will give you stability. It will give you clarity. It will give you the kind of strength that cannot be shaken by circumstance. That is how real change begins. Not in bursts, but in quiet, daily choices, and it starts with you. One habit, one step, one day, again and again until your life reflects the discipline you built with your own hands. Chapter 4. Wake up early and start with clear intention. Waking up early is not about following a trend or adopting a routine for the sake of productivity. It is about reclaiming your time, your focus, and your inner space before the world begins to ask for your attention. When you wake early with a clear intention, you stop living in reaction and start living in creation. You step into the day with awareness, not anxiety. The early hours are yours. They are quiet, they are calm, they are clean from the demands and distractions that will soon come. In those hours, you can think clearly, move slowly, and act deliberately. That space is not a luxury. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to live with depth and direction. When you wake up late and rushed, you begin your day in a state of catch-up. Your choices feel reactive. Your thoughts feel scrambled. You skip what matters because you feel behind before you've even started. But when you choose to rise early, you create margin. You give yourself a window of time that belongs to you and no one else. And in that window, you can decide who you want to be today. Not just what you need to do, but who you choose to become. That is the value of waking early. It is not just about gaining more hours. It is about gaining more presence in the hours you already have. But waking up early alone is not enough. What matters even more is how you begin. You must wake with a purpose, not a long list of tasks or obligations, but one clear intention that shapes how you move through the rest of your day. If you wake early, but immediately fill your mind with noise, distractions, or empty routines, you lose the advantage. The gift of the early hours is clarity. You must protect that clarity. You must guide it. You must shape it into something that gives your day direction. That begins the night before. Going to bed with a purpose allows you to rise with one. When you sleep without intention, you wake without direction. So decide before you sleep what matters tomorrow. What kind of energy do I want to carry? What action will move me closer to what I value? Your mind will begin to prepare, even while you rest. And when the alarm sounds, you will have something to rise for, not out of obligation, but from choice. When the morning comes, do not reach for your phone. Do not fill your mind with noise before you fill it with clarity. The moment you wake, you are shaping your state. If the first thing you consume is chaos, comparison or distraction, you are choosing to begin your day in reaction. But if you begin with stillness, intention and focus, you are choosing to lead your day instead of follow it. That choice defines the tone of your entire morning, and the tone of your morning often defines the tone of your life. You do not need a complicated routine. You do not need to wake at an extreme hour. You need a ritual that anchors you. One that reminds you of who you are and what matters. That ritual could be silence, reading, journaling, prayer, movement, or reflection. What matters is that it brings you back to yourself, that it centers your thoughts and sharpens your presence. The habit is not the goal. The result is, and that result is clarity. Start by sitting still for a few moments. Breathe deeply. Notice the thoughts that want your attention. Ask yourself one simple question. What do I want to stand for today? Not what do I want to achieve or complete, but who do I want to be in how I think, speak, and act. That is where your intention begins. With identity, not productivity, your day will be full of tasks, but the strength behind those tasks comes from who you are while doing them. Write your intention down. Keep it simple. Keep it clear. A sentence, a phrase, a word. Something you can return to when the day becomes noisy. That intention is your compass. When you get tired, distracted, or frustrated, you can return to that phrase and remember your direction. Without that anchor, it's easy to drift. But when you start your day with purpose, you begin to see everything else through a clearer lens. Waking up early also teaches you discipline. It teaches you to value consistency over comfort, because you will not always want to rise early. Some mornings will be harder than others, but that discomfort is part of the practice. It is how you train your mind to choose growth over ease. Each time you rise early when you don't want to, you reinforce your control over your choices. And that self-control carries into every other part of your life. When you commit to an early start, you also begin to master time. You see how a quiet hour in the morning is more valuable than 3 distracted hours later. You discover that clarity in the morning leads to better decisions in the afternoon. You stop feeling behind because you've already grounded yourself before others are even awake. That kind of momentum is subtle but powerful. It doesn't come from rushing. It comes from intention. Over time, your early mornings become sacred. They stop feeling like a chore and start feeling like freedom. You stop craving more sleep and start craving more clarity. You realize that waking early is not about losing rest. It's about gaining presence. You wake not just because you should, but because you want to. You want to meet the day on your terms. You want to live with choice, not by default. If your schedule is demanding and your time feels limited, you may wonder if waking early is even possible. But there is always a window. Even 15 minutes earlier than usual can change everything if you use it well. The point is not the number on the clock. It is the space you create before the world needs you. In that space, you reclaim your attention, your values, and your priorities. You step into the day with strength, not stress. This habit, once consistent, becomes a quiet advantage. While others start their day in chaos, you begin with order. While others are reacting to pressure, you are moving from purpose, and that shift in how you start your day affects how you end it. You feel less scattered, less rushed, more present, more in control, because you began with intention, and that intention carried you. Waking early and starting with a clear mind will not solve every problem, but it will prepare you to face them with calm and clarity. It will give you the strength to respond instead of react. It will train you to protect your peace before the noise of the day begins. That strength is not loud, it is quiet, but it is steady, and it is yours. Every morning, if you choose to rise and meet it. So decide now, not next week. Not when your schedule is lighter. Decide that your mornings matter. Decide that your time is valuable. Decide that you're worth giving yourself the first part of the day before anything else takes your attention. Set your alarm, prepare your space, choose your intention. And when the morning comes, rise without debate. Begin without delay. Own the first moment, then let that ownership guide the rest of the day, again and again, until it becomes how you live. Chapter 5. Control your thoughts before they control you. Your thoughts shape everything. They decide what you notice, how you feel, and what you believe is possible. If you do not take control of them, they will take control of you. They will pull you into old habits, create false fears, and flood your mind with doubt. Every day, thousands of thoughts pass through your mind. Some are useful, but many are distractions. They are leftover beliefs from the past, ideas planted by others, or reactions to things that don't deserve your energy. You cannot afford to let every thought guide your actions. You must become the one who decides what stays and what goes. The quality of your life depends on the quality of the thoughts you accept. There's a moment between what happens and how you respond. That moment is where your power lives. Most people never slow down enough to find that moment. They react on impulse. They follow their first thought, and often that first thought is fear, judgment, or insecurity. When you live like that, your life becomes chaotic. You're no longer choosing. You're just following whatever your mind throws at you. That's not freedom. That's noise disguised as truth. To break free, you must learn to pause. You must learn to observe your thoughts instead of obeying them. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. You are the one who can question them, interrupt them, replace them, or ignore them. When you forget that, you lose your ability to think clearly. You begin to believe that every thought deserves your attention. But most of your thoughts are simply habits, repetitive patterns that have been running unchecked. If you don't stop them, they will keep repeating, and the more you repeat a thought, the more real it feels, even if it's not true. To control your thoughts, you must first become aware of them. Pay attention to what your mind says when you're tired, when you're challenged, or when things go wrong. Notice the voice that tells you it's not worth trying. Notice the thoughts that criticize you or make you feel small. Don't fight them. Just see them clearly. Bring them into the light. Once you can see your thoughts, you can question them. Where did this thought come from? Is it helping me or hurting me? Do I want to keep thinking this way? Those questions open the door to freedom. Without them, your thoughts become your master. With them, your thoughts become tools you can choose and shape. Your mind has been conditioned by experience. Every setback, every failure, every moment of fear has left a mark. If you don't clear those marks, they turn into mental habits. They affect how you speak, how you act, and what you believe is possible. But the past is not a prison, it is only a pattern, and patterns can be broken. The first step is deciding that you no longer want to be driven by fear. You no longer want to believe everything your mind says when it's stressed or uncertain. You want to lead your mind, not be led by it. Start your day by setting the direction of your thoughts. Choose what kind of energy you want to bring into the day. Don't wait for your mind to decide for you. If you wake up and immediately start thinking about problems, stress, or what could go wrong, you are already behind. Instead, speak to yourself with clarity. Choose one clear sentence that represents how you want to show up today. Let that thought be your starting point. Repeat it until your mind accepts it. Repeat it until you feel it. That is how you train your focus. That is how you interrupt the pattern of negativity before it grows. When negative thoughts appear, and they will, do not feed them. Do not add more emotion to them. Do not follow them into deeper stories. Name them, call them what they are. Say to yourself, this is just a thought, not a fact. That simple step gives you distance. It gives you space to decide what happens next. You can then shift your focus to something more useful. You can ask, what is one thing I can control right now? That question brings you back to the present. It grounds you in action. It breaks the loop of fear. You don't need to force positive thinking. You need to create useful thinking. Thinking that helps you move forward. Thinking that supports your values. Thinking that brings clarity instead of confusion. Useful thoughts are simple, direct, and focused on action. They are thoughts that lead you to try, to improve, to stay steady. When your mind is filled with those kinds of thoughts, everything becomes easier. You don't waste energy doubting yourself. You don't lose time overthinking. You move forward with quiet confidence. To build that kind of mind, you must practice daily. Just like you train your body, you must train your thinking. Write down the thoughts that hold you back. Write down the ones that make you feel weak or helpless. Look at them without judgment. Then write a better thought beside each one. A thought that is honest but empowering, not fantasy. Truth. Truth that reminds you of your strength, your responsibility, your direction. Read those new thoughts each day. Say them out loud. Use them to guide your actions. That practice builds mental discipline. The goal is not to have perfect thoughts. The goal is to have clear direction. Even when doubt appears, even when fear speaks, you can choose not to listen. You can let the thought pass without giving it your time. Just because a thought is loud does not mean it is true. Just because it feels familiar does not mean it is right. The more you ignore useless thoughts, the weaker they become. They lose power when you stop feeding them. You don't fight them. You rise above them by choosing what deserves your attention. If your mind feels chaotic, simplify it. Focus on one thing, one task, one intention, one value. When your attention is divided, your thoughts become scattered. But when you give full presence to what matters now, your thoughts calm down. They align with your actions. That alignment gives you strength. You no longer feel pulled in every direction. You no longer feel trapped in mental noise. You feel grounded, clear, in control. You are not here to be ruled by doubt. You are not here to be a prisoner of worry. You are here to think clearly and act wisely. That clarity comes when you choose your thoughts as carefully as you choose your words. If you wouldn't say it to someone you care about, don't repeat it in your mind. Speak to yourself with respect, with truth, with courage. That internal voice becomes the foundation of your decisions. Build it with care. Some thoughts will return often. Old fears, past failures, hidden insecurities. You may not erase them completely, but you don't need to. You only need to stop letting them drive, acknowledge them, then guide your attention forward. Focus on what you can build. Focus on what you can improve. That shift changes everything. You stop living in the past. You start living in your power. Control begins with awareness. Growth begins with practice. Change begins with choice. Choose better thoughts. Train them daily. Speak them with confidence. Align them with your actions. And when you stumble, return. Return without guilt. Return without delay. The practice is not about perfection. It is about returning. Again and again, until your mind becomes a tool, not a trap. Until your thoughts support your strength, not your fear. Until you are the one in control. Calm, focused, steady, no matter what noise the world brings. Chapter 6. Do hard things even when you feel tired. Doing hard things when you're full of energy is expected, but doing hard things when you feel tired is what builds a different kind of strength, the kind that doesn't rely on the perfect conditions to act. Tiredness is not just physical, it's emotional, mental, and even spiritual. Life will test your limits on all fronts, and it will not ask if you feel ready. It will not wait for you to feel motivated. The real challenge begins the moment you feel like quitting. That's where growth lives. That's where identity is shaped. Because how you act when you're drained speaks louder than what you do when everything is easy. Tiredness tells you to pause. That's normal. But it can also convince you to stop when you still have more to give. You must learn to know the difference between rest and avoidance. You must listen to your body when it truly needs recovery, but not confuse mental resistance for physical exhaustion. The mind often gives up long before the body does. It whispers, "You can't," before you even try. It says, "Not now," when now is the exact time you need to show up. If you listen to that voice too often, it becomes your default. Your ability to act shrinks. Your belief in yourself weakens, and your confidence slowly disappears. Not because you lack talent, but because you trained yourself to stop when it gets uncomfortable. Most progress is made during moments when quitting feels justified. You won't always get the reward right away. You won't always see the benefit in the moment. But each time you push through the feeling of being tired and do what needs to be done, you build something powerful within yourself. Discipline without conditions. Discipline that does not ask for permission from your feelings. Discipline that shows up regardless of the mood. That's the foundation of any life built on purpose. You won't always be able to give 100%. Some days you'll only have 40%. But if you give all of that 40%, you still win. You don't need to be at your best to be effective. You need to be honest and consistent. The effort still counts. The follow-through still matters. Even a slow step forward is stronger than standing still and waiting to feel ready. Waiting rarely delivers what action does. Even small action when you're tired builds mental toughness that rest cannot replace. Hard things aren't just about physical endurance. They're about facing what you've been avoiding. That hard conversation, that unfinished task, that long overdue decision. These are the things that drain you the most because you carry them in the background every day. The longer you delay, the heavier they get. The more you avoid, the louder they become in your mind. But once you start, once you take the first step, you often realize the resistance was louder than the reality. You discover that the task wasn't impossible. It was just uncomfortable, and discomfort is temporary. Regret is not. When you're tired, simplify your focus. You don't need to do everything. You need to do what matters most. Cut the noise. Choose one hard thing that moves your life forward, even slightly. Do that. even slowly, even imperfectly. You don't need speed. You need direction. You don't need perfection. You need commitment. Most people burn out not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing too many things that don't matter. When you focus on the essential, even when tired, you regain energy through purpose. Purpose fuels action, even when the body feels heavy. There will be days when the temptation to delay is strong. You'll look for reasons to skip the task, delay the effort, or talk yourself out of trying. In those moments, the most important thing you can do is act quickly. Action breaks the spell of procrastination. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to move. Start with 5 minutes. Start with 1 page. Start with 1 rep. The act of beginning clears the fog. It reminds you that motion creates momentum. And once you've begun, continuing becomes easier than starting over tomorrow. Doing hard things when you feel tired also changes how you see yourself. It shifts your identity from someone who needs ideal conditions to someone who creates progress no matter what. That shift is more valuable than any short burst of motivation, because it redefines what you believe you're capable of. You no longer see yourself as someone who tries, you see yourself as someone who endures. That kind of self-image is a weapon in a world that rewards comfort. While others wait, you move. While others complain, you act. That difference compounds over time and creates results that others only talk about. Sometimes the hard thing is just showing up, logging in, lacing up, sitting down, not quitting. Even if you do the bare minimum, you are still reinforcing the pattern of persistence. You're still saying to yourself, I finish what I start. That belief gets stronger every time you act on it, and it becomes nearly unbreakable when you act on it while tired. Because then, it's no longer about external reward, it's about who you are choosing to become. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You're not doing hard things to impress the world. You're doing them to build a life you're proud of, a life that reflects effort, a life that reflects strength, a life that reflects the kind of person who doesn't quit just because it's uncomfortable. The world does not owe you easy days. Life will test you, it will stretch you, and the only thing that will carry you through is your willingness to keep moving even when it's difficult. Rest when your body requires it, but don't confuse mental weakness for physical limits. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you allow, but you won't see that potential unless you step past the line where it starts to hurt. That's where growth lives, not in comfort, but in challenge, not in ease, but in effort. You don't need to suffer, you need to show up, fully. Even tired, especially tired, because that's when your excuses feel the strongest, and that's when your actions matter the most. Your future self is watching, not the version that shows up on perfect days, but the version that exists because you chose to keep going when you didn't feel like it. That version is built through hard effort, done when no one else sees it. Quiet work, steady work, honest work. That is how strength is built. Not with noise, but with resilience. Not with motivation, but with movement. Do one hard thing today, even if you're tired, especially if you're tired. Because every time you do, you remind yourself that fatigue is not the end. It's the beginning of your deeper capacity, and that capacity, once unlocked, never leaves you. It becomes part of you, forever. Chapter 7. Eliminate distractions that steal your focus daily. Focus is not something you find by accident. It's something you protect on purpose. Every day you are surrounded by things designed to pull you away from what matters. Notifications, opinions, noise, tasks, temptations, and worries all compete for your mind. If you don't eliminate distractions with clarity and strength, they will own your attention without asking. You cannot grow, create, or live fully if your attention is constantly being divided. The people who do meaningful work are not smarter. They're just better at protecting what matters. They decide what deserves their attention, and they remove everything that doesn't. That choice is not occasional, it's daily. You must make it again and again because distractions will always try to return. Distractions do not always look like problems. Sometimes they look like small things, convenient things, easy things, things that seem harmless, but over time they drain your energy, steal your time, and blur your direction. They show up as open tabs, social media scrolling, pointless conversations, unimportant tasks, and emotional clutter. Most of the time, they don't arrive all at once. They sneak in quietly, and that's what makes them dangerous. You don't feel the damage right away, but day by day, they take your time away from the actions that move your life forward. Focus isn't lost through one big mistake. It slips away when you allow 100 small distractions to pull you in every direction. The first step is to know what you want to focus on. If your direction isn't clear, distractions will always seem more interesting. You can't eliminate what doesn't belong until you know what belongs. Take a few minutes every morning and ask yourself one question: what deserves my full attention today? Not everything, not everyone, just one or two priorities that actually move you forward. Keep them simple and specific. When you name them, you take control. You create a boundary. You define success for the day instead of letting the day decide for you. Once you know what matters, you must guard it. That means removing what pulls you away from it. Turn off what you don't need. Silence what can wait. Put distance between yourself and the noise. It may feel uncomfortable at first. You may feel like you're missing out or falling behind. But what you're really doing is reclaiming your ability to think deeply and work fully. Distractions are addictive because they give you small hits of pleasure, but they take away your depth, your patience, and your creative energy. You cannot do meaningful work in a shallow state of mind. You must go deep, and depth requires space. Look at your environment. What pulls your eyes? What steals your attention without asking? Remove it. Clear your space of things that do not serve the task at hand. Clutter around you becomes clutter inside you. Simplify what you see so that your mind can settle. Then look at your digital world. Most distractions now live in your phone, your laptop, your inbox. Set boundaries that keep your tools from becoming your traps. Turn off notifications. Set fixed times for checking messages. Create routines where your devices serve your purpose, not control your habits. One of the most powerful things you can do is build blocks of time where you focus fully on one thing. No multitasking, no checking, no switching, just you and the task. This trains your mind to go deep. It rebuilds your ability to concentrate. At first it will feel difficult. Your mind will resist. It's used to being stimulated every few seconds, but over time you will adjust. And as you do, you'll notice something powerful. You'll begin to enjoy the work again, not just finishing it, but being in it. That's the reward of focus. It turns even ordinary tasks into moments of flow. Another way distractions steal your focus is through people who constantly pull your time and energy without purpose. Be kind, but be clear. Not every message requires a reply right away. Not every request needs to be accepted. You do not owe your availability to everyone at all times. Your time is your responsibility. If you give it away freely, others will keep taking it. Set boundaries. Create space for uninterrupted work. Protect your solitude like you protect your peace, because inside that solitude is where your best thoughts live. Distractions also come from your own mind. Worry, doubt, overthinking, and regret can interrupt your focus even in a silent room. You must learn to guide your thoughts. When your mind drifts, don't panic. Gently bring it back. Like training a muscle, focus gets stronger the more you return. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to notice when you've drifted and come back without judgment. Every return is progress. Every moment you protect is a small win. You may not be able to remove every distraction, but you can control how often you invite them. If you start your day by checking the world before checking in with yourself, you've already given your focus away. Begin your day on your own terms. Before opening apps, open your mind. Before scrolling, sit still. Before reacting to the world, ask what you want from the day. That small shift changes everything. It puts you in control. It gives you space before the flood begins. The people who stay consistent, calm, and effective are not those with perfect lives. They're the ones who protect their focus. They choose what to ignore. They decide what deserves space in their life, and they make those decisions daily. You don't rise by accident. You rise through discipline, through saying no, through choosing silence over noise, through choosing depth over speed, through choosing what matters over what tempts. Sometimes distraction is a way of avoiding discomfort. It's easier to check your phone than to sit with uncertainty. It's easier to scroll than to face your unfinished work. But avoidance builds anxiety. The longer you delay what matters, the heavier it becomes. Facing your work directly, even when it's difficult, gives you relief. It builds confidence. You don't need to finish everything today. You just need to begin with full presence. That beginning is everything. Eliminating distractions isn't about being rigid. It's about being clear. It's about being clear. It's about valuing your time enough to stop giving it to things that do not return value. It's about remembering that focus is not automatic. It's a choice you make repeatedly. That choice shapes your results. That choice shapes your peace of mind. That choice determines whether your day serves your growth or drains your strength. Each time you remove one distraction, you create space for something better. For clarity, for action, for alignment. That space is where your real life is built, not in reaction to everything, but in reflection, in discipline, in choice. The power is already yours. You just have to protect it every day, without apology, without hesitation, without delay, because your future depends on how well you focus in the present. And your present is shaped by what you choose to ignore. Chapter 8. Stick to your plan, even when motivation fades. The real test of growth is not how well you perform when you're excited, but how steady you remain when the excitement fades. Plans are easy to make when energy is high. You feel ready. You feel inspired. The vision is clear. The commitment feels light. But that feeling doesn't last. It never does. At some point, you will wake up tired. You will feel bored. You will question if it still matters. The reason so many people quit is not because their plan failed. It's because their emotions changed, and they mistook that change for a reason to stop. The truth is, if you only act when you feel like it, you will never finish anything that matters. Discipline begins where motivation ends. You must decide in advance that you will follow through, even when you don't feel inspired. That decision removes the need to negotiate with your feelings every time they shift. It gives you stability when the spark is gone, because the spark always goes. What keeps you moving is not how much you want it in the moment. It's how much you've committed to it beyond the moment. Plans are built on clarity, not emotion. Motivation is a wave. Discipline is the ground beneath your feet. It's easy to believe that you need to feel a certain way to act, but feeling is not a requirement for doing. Some of the most important work you will do will come on the days you least want to do it. Showing up in those moments changes how you see yourself. It builds trust. It builds strength. It tells your mind, I am the kind of person who honors my word. That belief, when repeated in action, becomes unshakable. You stop needing permission from your emotions. You stop waiting for inspiration. You begin to lead yourself. Most people give up too soon because they think losing motivation means something is wrong. It doesn't. It's natural. It's expected. What matters is what you do next. Will you wait for motivation to return, or will you act anyway? The answer to that question decides whether you stay stuck or keep moving. You must build a plan that is strong enough to hold you even when you don't feel like being held. A plan that makes the decision for you. A structure that takes away the question, should I do this today, and replaces it with, this is what I do. Your plan should be simple, clear, and built around what matters most. Not complicated, not overwhelming, just clear enough that you always know your next step. Because when motivation fades, confusion becomes a trap. If your plan is too vague, you'll look for reasons to avoid it. If it's too crowded, you'll get discouraged. But when it's specific, you reduce the mental friction of starting. You stop wasting energy trying to remember what to do. You save your willpower for the action itself. That's how structure supports discipline. Track your progress. Write it down. When motivation disappears, your records remind you of how far you've come. That reminder is fuel. It proves that your efforts are adding up even when they feel invisible. Motivation is emotional. Evidence is logical. When the feeling fades, let the facts speak. Let your habits show you what your emotions forget. Even when you don't feel it, you are changing, and that change is building something bigger than a mood. When you feel like quitting, go back to your reason. Why did you start this? What did you want to become? What did you say mattered? Your plan was never about feeling good every day. It was about becoming someone who does what they say they'll do. The deeper your reason, the stronger your ability to continue without the need for motivation. Surface reasons fade. Deep reasons hold. Find a reason that pulls you forward even when everything else feels heavy. Break your plan into pieces. On the days you feel low, you might not be able to give everything, but you can give something. Doing part of the plan is better than doing none. It keeps the rhythm alive. It protects the pattern. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about presence. Even a small step forward keeps you connected to your purpose. The gap between full effort and no effort is wide. But the gap between full effort and small effort is narrow. That's where your advantage lives. You must stop tying your identity to how you feel. Begin tying it to what you do. You are not lazy just because you feel lazy. You are not weak just because you feel tired. You are someone who is learning to lead yourself. That leadership comes from action, not emotion. You may feel resistance, that's normal, but you don't owe your resistance obedience. You owe your goals your action. People who succeed are not always more talented. They're simply more willing to stay with the process long enough for it to work. Most people stop right before momentum kicks in. They let boredom make the decision. They let distraction lead them. But you can choose differently. You can become the kind of person who acts with purpose even in the absence of motivation. That is a rare strength. That is the kind of strength that builds a lasting result. You will be tempted to rewrite your plan every time you feel uncomfortable. Don't. If the plan is sound, follow it. Let the results come from staying the course, not constantly changing direction. Chasing new methods every time you feel uninspired will only keep you in a cycle of starting over. Instead, trust the process. The boring work matters. The quiet steps count. The unseen effort is what makes everything visible in the long run. You will not always be excited. You will not always feel progress, but the plan is still there. It's waiting for you. You don't need to want to do it. You just need to do it. The action comes first. The motivation often returns after. That's the secret most people never learn. They wait to feel good before they act. But the truth is, you often have to act before you feel anything. Motion first, emotion second. Every time you follow through when motivation is gone, you rewire your mind. You stop being ruled by the moment. You build a deeper kind of power, one that cannot be taken away by a bad day, a bad mood, or a passing feeling. That power is yours, but you must earn it. You earn it by choosing to act when every part of you wants to stop. Make it simple. Set the time, start the task, finish the step. That's it. No drama, no waiting, no explanation. The world doesn't need to know how you feel. It needs to see what you're willing to build in silence. Stay loyal to your routine. Stay loyal to your word. Stay loyal to the version of you who started with a clear vision. That loyalty will carry you further than any burst of energy ever could. Motivation is a gift, but discipline is the foundation. Plans fall apart without follow-through. Dreams fade without structure, and success becomes a story you tell yourself instead of a life you live. So stay with it, especially when it's hard, especially when it's dull, especially when the fire is gone, because the fire comes back to those who keep moving. The spark returns to those who keep showing up. You are not here to wait. You are here to build, even when the feeling is gone, even when the day is long, even when it would be easier to skip. You don't need it to feel easy. You just need to keep going. Chapter 9. Speak with purpose and live with full integrity. Your words are not just sounds. They carry weight. They reveal who you are, and they leave behind an imprint that lasts long after you stop speaking. What you say builds trust or breaks it. It lifts people or drains them. It creates clarity or confusion. Every time you speak, you are either reinforcing your values or moving further from them. When you choose to speak with purpose, you begin to live with a different level of awareness. You don't waste your voice on things that don't matter. You don't speak out of habit, anger, or fear. You speak because you've thought carefully, and because what you say reflects what you stand for. Living with full integrity means that your words and actions match. It means that who you are in private is the same as who you are in public. You're not performing. You're not adjusting yourself to fit what others expect. You're rooted in your values, and everything you say or do flows from that. This kind of life is rare because it requires honesty at every level. It means not saying what's easy just to keep peace. It means not hiding the truth to avoid discomfort. It means not pretending to believe something you don't. Speaking with purpose is not about being loud. It's about being clear. It's about saying only what is necessary, helpful, and true. It's about using your voice as a tool for truth, not as a way to gain attention. Many people speak without thinking. They say what they feel in the moment without asking if it helps, if it's needed, or if it reflects who they want to be. But words once spoken cannot be taken back. They create damage or they build bridges. They plant seeds of doubt or seeds of strength. Speaking with purpose demands self-control. It demands that you pause and think before you speak. Ask yourself, why am I saying this? What do I hope this creates? Am I building or tearing down? Am I saying something I will be proud of tomorrow? People with integrity don't say one thing and do another. They don't speak about discipline and live without it. They don't talk about respect and then act carelessly behind closed doors. They don't claim to care about growth while wasting their time. They are not perfect, but they are honest, and when they fall short, they admit it. They don't lie to protect their image. They take full responsibility. That kind of person is rare. Because it's easier to pretend. It's easier to say what sounds good than to live what's right. But if you want real peace, real strength, and real confidence, you must live in alignment. You must be who you say you are, even when no one is watching. You don't have to speak often to be powerful. Sometimes the most powerful people speak less because they've learned to value silence. They don't talk to fill space. They don't speak to impress. They speak when it's needed, and when they do, people listen. Their words have weight because they are backed by consistent action. They're not trying to convince anyone, they're just living in truth. That quiet strength is what gives their voice power. Living with integrity is not always easy. It means making hard decisions. It means telling the truth even when it costs you something. It means walking away from shortcuts and choosing the long road because it's the honest one. It means admitting when you're wrong and correcting yourself without blaming others. It means not breaking your word even when keeping it feels inconvenient. People with integrity are not rigid, but they are consistent. They don't bend their standards to fit the situation. They rise to meet their standards, no matter what the situation is. When you live this way, people trust you. They don't need to second-guess what you say, because they've seen that your actions always match your words. That trust is not given. It's earned over time through small acts of honesty. And once you've earned it, it becomes one of your most valuable assets. It opens doors that talent alone cannot open. It brings peace of mind that wealth alone cannot buy. You don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to keep up a fake version of yourself. You are just you, fully and honestly. Speaking with purpose also means listening deeply. You don't speak over others. You don't assume you know everything. You listen with care, because part of integrity is respecting other voices. You don't listen just to reply. You listen to understand. That kind of listening creates stronger relationships. It shows people that you value more than your own voice. It shows that you are not just speaking from ego, but from empathy and awareness. If you want to become a person of substance, you must watch your words and your actions like they matter, because they do. Every sentence you speak reflects your level of thought. Every promise you make reflects your level of commitment. Every decision you make when no one is looking reflects your level of integrity. You don't need to shout about who you are. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. Just let your life speak. Let the way you move through the world show what you believe. That is far more powerful than any speech. Purposeful speech and full integrity are not about perfection. They are about alignment. You will make mistakes. You will say things you regret. You will act out of emotion sometimes. But what matters most is that you recognize it quickly, take responsibility, and get back on track. That process, falling and correcting, builds strength. It shows that you are serious about becoming the kind of person you admire. You're not here to perform. You're here to live honestly. You're here to build a life that reflects real values, not borrowed appearances. Each day gives you a new chance to speak with clarity, to act with honesty, to show up with intention. Don't waste your words on gossip, on judgment, on things that don't align with your values. Don't say things just to sound good. Say what you believe, say what helps, say what's needed. And then live in a way that makes those words real. If you say you value growth, work on yourself every day. If you say you respect others, treat them with patience. If you say you want peace, live in a way that brings peace, not drama. You don't need approval to live with integrity. You need courage. The courage to stand alone when truth is unpopular. The courage to hold your values when no one is watching. The courage to be consistent when it would be easier to compromise. That kind of life is not always loud, but it's always strong. It doesn't sway with the moment. It doesn't need an audience. It's steady, grounded, and real. Your life is your message. Your behavior is your voice. Your integrity is your legacy. People may forget what you said. They may forget what you did. But they will remember how consistent you were. They will remember whether they could trust your word. And most importantly, you will remember you will live with yourself every day. You will carry the weight or the freedom of your choices. So choose to speak only what matters. Choose to live what you say. Choose to stand for something honest and lasting. That choice will shape every part of your life. That choice will make your voice strong, even in silence. That choice will make you unshakable. Chapter 10. Take responsibility for every action you choose. Movement is not just about physical health. It is one of the most direct ways to strengthen your inner discipline. When you decide to move your body regularly, you are training your mind to follow through. You are proving to yourself that you can act consistently even when it feels difficult. Discipline is a muscle. Like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. Each time you choose to exercise, to stretch, to walk, or to move intentionally, you are building more than just strength in your body. You are building strength in your willpower and your ability to commit. Many people see exercise as a chore or a goal limited to physical appearance, but moving your body is a way to build resilience in every part of your life. The act of showing up to move, especially when you don't feel like it, teaches your brain that discomfort can be managed. It teaches patience and persistence. It reminds you that progress is not about being perfect every day, but about being present enough to continue. These lessons transfer from the physical to the mental. The discipline you build in your body becomes a foundation for discipline in your thoughts, habits, and decisions. Starting movement doesn't require a gym membership or hours of free time. It requires a decision to move in some way each day. That could mean walking for 10 minutes, doing a few stretches, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. What matters is consistency. Each time you move your body, you prove that you can make a commitment and keep it. This builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence fuels further discipline. This cycle strengthens your entire being, one small step at a time. Movement also creates mental clarity. When your body is active, blood flows more freely and your brain wakes up. This increases your ability to focus and make better decisions. Discipline is not just about willpower, it's about being clear and calm enough to choose well. When you neglect your body, you weaken your mind's ability to stay steady. When you honor your body with movement, you sharpen your mind's capacity to endure challenges and resist distractions. There will be days when moving your body feels impossible. You feel tired, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. These are the days that matter most. Showing up for your body when it feels hardest builds inner discipline. Unlike anything else, it teaches you that your commitment is stronger than your mood, that you are not controlled by feelings, but by your purpose. Those difficult days become the training ground for mental toughness. The small victories in movement translate into big victories in life. The benefits of moving your body go beyond physical strength. Movement improves your mood by releasing chemicals that reduce stress and increase happiness. It improves sleep, which is essential for focus and emotional stability. When you move regularly, you feel more energetic. That energy allows you to tackle your daily goals with more ease. You start to notice that your capacity for discipline grows because your entire system is supported. You can create movement habits that fit your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as walking outside in fresh air, dancing to music you love, or practicing yoga in your living room. The key is to find movement that you enjoy or that feels meaningful to you. When movement feels like a punishment, it's easy to avoid. But when it becomes a source of strength and peace, it becomes a practice you want to protect and prioritize. Tracking your movement helps reinforce discipline. Keep a simple journal or use an app to record your activity. Celebrate the days you show up. Notice how your mood and focus improve with regular movement. Use those observations as motivation to keep going. When you see progress, no matter how small, it reminds you that your efforts matter. This awareness makes it easier to return after days when you miss your routine. Moving your body is also an act of self-respect. It is a way to honor the life you have and the goals you want to achieve. When you commit to movement, you send a message to yourself that you are worth the effort. This shifts your mindset from neglect or avoidance to care and action. It reinforces the idea that discipline is a form of love for yourself, not punishment or obligation. Inner discipline grows through repeated choice. When you face resistance, acknowledge it, but don't let it win. Move anyway. This simple action creates a habit loop that strengthens your ability to choose discipline over comfort. Over time, these choices create an unbreakable foundation that supports every other area of your life. You become someone who acts with intention even when emotions are mixed or motivation is low. Movement connects you to the present moment. It reminds you that life is lived in action, not just thought. Each step, stretch, or breath grounds you in now. This presence is a form of discipline itself, because it requires focus and awareness. When your body is active, your mind becomes alert. This alertness helps you resist distractions and maintain steady progress toward your goals. Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. A few minutes of movement daily add up over weeks and months. This accumulation creates lasting change. The same principle applies to discipline in all areas. The strength you build through physical movement flows into your mental and emotional habits. You become more patient, more focused, and more resilient. Inner discipline is not an abstract concept. It is the result of physical practice. When you move your body with intention, you are practicing discipline in the most direct way. It's a language your mind understands deeply. This practice teaches you that you can endure discomfort, keep promises, and show up fully. These lessons become the foundation for building the unstoppable life you desire. Movement also teaches humility. Your body has limits and needs care. Discipline is not about pushing to breaking point, but about listening, adjusting, and caring for yourself. This balance between challenge and respect creates sustainable strength. You learn that discipline is not punishment, but a path to freedom. Freedom from weakness, from excuses, and from limitations. As you build this habit, you will notice changes beyond the physical. Your confidence will rise because you are following through on commitments. Your stress will decrease because you have a healthy outlet for tension. Your mind will sharpen because your body supports your brain. These improvements make it easier to continue practicing discipline in every area. Remember that movement is a daily choice. It is not about perfection or intensity. It is about presence and persistence. Every time you decide to move, you are choosing discipline. You are reinforcing the habit of commitment. You are proving to yourself that you can overcome resistance. This ongoing practice builds a version of you that is strong, focused, and unstoppable. No matter your age, fitness level, or schedule, Moving your body is accessible. It is one of the simplest and most effective tools to strengthen your inner discipline. Make movement a non-negotiable part of your day. Treat it as an essential meeting with yourself. Protect that time. Prioritize it. Defend it against distractions. This commitment creates a ripple effect that improves your entire life. Discipline in movement creates discipline in life. The habits you build in your body echo in your mind and spirit. They prepare you for challenges, help you manage stress, and increase your capacity to pursue your dreams. When you move your body regularly, you build more than strength and endurance. You build the unstoppable mindset necessary for lifelong growth. The choice to move today is the choice to invest in yourself. It is the choice to build inner strength that no one can take away. It is the choice to live fully and purposefully. Every step matters. Every breath counts. Keep moving forward and watch how your discipline grows stronger with every motion you make. Chapter 11. Move your body to strengthen your inner discipline. Movement is not just about physical health. It is one of the most direct ways to strengthen your inner discipline. When you decide to move your body regularly, you are training your mind to follow through. You are proving to yourself that you can act consistently even when it feels difficult. Discipline is a muscle. Like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. Each time you choose to exercise, to stretch, to walk, or to move intentionally, you are building more than just strength in your body. You are building strength in your willpower and your ability to commit. Many people see exercise as a chore or a goal limited to physical appearance, but moving your body is a way to build resilience in every part of your life. The act of showing up to move, especially when you don't feel like it, teaches your brain that discomfort can be managed. It teaches patience and persistence. It reminds you that progress is not about being perfect every day, but about being present enough to continue. These lessons transfer from the physical to the mental. The discipline you build in your body becomes a foundation for discipline in your thoughts, habits, and decisions. Starting movement doesn't require a gym membership or hours of free time. It requires a decision to move in some way each day. That could mean walking for 10 minutes, doing a few stretches, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. What matters is consistency. Each time you move your body, you prove that you can make a commitment and keep it. This builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence fuels further discipline. This cycle strengthens your entire being, one small step at a time. Movement also creates mental clarity. When your body is active, blood flows more freely, and your brain wakes up. This increases your ability to focus and make better decisions. Discipline is not just about willpower. It's about being clear and calm enough to choose well. When you neglect your body, you weaken your mind's ability to stay steady. When you honor your body with movement, you sharpen your mind's capacity to endure challenges and resist distractions. There will be days when moving your body feels impossible. You feel tired, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. These are the days that matter most. Showing up for your body when it feels hardest builds inner discipline, unlike anything else. It teaches you that your commitment is stronger than your mood, that you are not controlled by feelings, but by your purpose. Those difficult days become the training ground for mental toughness. The small victories in movement translate into big victories in life. The benefits of moving your body go beyond physical strength. Movement improves your mood by releasing chemicals that reduce stress and increase happiness. It improves sleep, which is essential for focus and emotional stability. When you move regularly, you feel more energetic. That energy allows you to tackle your daily goals with more ease. You start to notice that your capacity for discipline grows because your entire system is supported. You can create movement habits that fit your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as walking outside in fresh air, dancing to music you love, or practicing yoga in your living room. The key is to find movement that you enjoy or that feels meaningful to you. When movement feels like a punishment, it's easy to avoid, but when it becomes a source of strength and peace, it becomes a practice you want to protect and prioritize. Tracking your movement helps reinforce discipline. Keep a simple journal or use an app to record your activity. Celebrate the days you show up. Notice how your mood and focus improve with regular movement. Use those observations as motivation to keep going. When you see progress, no matter how small, it reminds you that your efforts matter. This awareness makes it easier to return after days when you miss your routine. Moving your body is also an act of self-respect. It is a way to honor the life you have and the goals you want to achieve. When you commit to movement, you send a message to yourself that you are worth the effort. This shifts your mindset from neglect or avoidance to care and action. It reinforces the idea that discipline is a form of love for yourself, not punishment or obligation. Inner discipline grows through repeated choice. When you face resistance, acknowledge it, but don't let it win. Move anyway. This simple action creates a habit loop that strengthens your ability to choose discipline over comfort. Over time, these choices create an unbreakable foundation that supports every other area of your life. You become someone who acts with intention even when emotions are mixed or motivation is low. Movement connects you to the present moment. It reminds you that life is lived in action, not just thought. Each step, stretch, or breath grounds you in now. This presence is a form of discipline itself because it requires focus and awareness. When your body is active, your mind becomes alert. This alertness helps you resist distractions and maintain steady progress toward your goals. Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. A few minutes of movement daily add up over weeks and months. This accumulation creates lasting change. The same principle applies to discipline in all areas. The strength you build through physical movement flows into your mental and emotional habits. You become more patient, more focused, and more resilient. Inner discipline is not an abstract concept. It is the result of physical practice. When you move your body with intention, you are practicing discipline in the most direct way. It's a language your mind understands deeply. This practice teaches you that you can endure discomfort, keep promises, and show up fully. These lessons become the foundation for building the unstoppable life you desire. Movement also teaches humility. Your body has limits and needs care. Discipline is not about pushing to breaking point, but about listening, adjusting, and caring for yourself. This balance between challenge and respect creates sustainable strength. You learn that discipline is not punishment, but a path to freedom. Freedom from weakness, from excuses, and from limitations. As you build this habit, you will notice changes beyond the physical. Your confidence will rise because you are following through on commitments. Your stress will decrease because you have a healthy outlet for tension. Your mind will sharpen because your body supports your brain. These improvements make it easier to continue practicing discipline in every area. Remember that movement is a daily choice. It is not about perfection or intensity. It is about presence and persistence. Every time you decide to move, you are choosing discipline. You are reinforcing the habit of commitment. You are proving to yourself that you can overcome resistance. This ongoing practice builds a version of you that is strong, focused, and unstoppable. No matter your age, fitness level, or schedule, moving your body is accessible. It is one of the simplest and most effective tools to strengthen your inner discipline. Make movement a non-negotiable part of your day. Treat it as an essential meeting with yourself. Protect that time, prioritize it, defend it against distractions. This commitment creates a ripple effect that improves your entire life. Discipline in movement creates discipline in life. The habits you build in your body echo in your mind and spirit. They prepare you for challenges, help you manage stress, and increase your capacity to pursue your dreams. When you move your body regularly, you build more than strength and endurance. You build the unstoppable mindset necessary for lifelong growth. The choice to move today is the choice to invest in yourself. It is the choice to build inner strength that no one can take away. It is the choice to live fully and purposefully. Every step matters. Every breath counts. Keep moving forward and watch how your discipline grows stronger with every motion you make. Chapter 12. Protect your energy from negative influences today. Energy is your most valuable resource. It powers your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. Without energy, even the best plans and intentions fall apart. Protecting your energy is not a luxury. It is essential for living with discipline and purpose. Negative influences drain your energy in ways you might not even notice at first. They come disguised as people, environments, habits, or even thoughts that pull you away from your focus. If you want to become unstoppable, learning to guard your energy from these influences is critical. Negative influences create noise and distraction. They steal your attention and cloud your judgment. When your energy is low, your ability to think clearly and act decisively weakens. This vulnerability opens the door to procrastination, doubt, and frustration. By protecting your energy, you maintain a clear mind and strong will. You keep your focus sharp and your actions effective. Energy protection is not about avoiding life's challenges, but about choosing what to engage with and what to let go. Start by identifying what drains your energy. Is it certain people who constantly complain or criticize? Is it environments filled with chaos and distractions? Is it habits like excessive screen time or negative self-talk? Awareness is the first step in protection. When you know the sources of your drain, you can begin to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are lines you draw to preserve your peace. Saying no to energy vampires is an act of self-respect. You must become selective about where you invest your energy. Not every conversation deserves your full attention. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every emotion requires your immediate response. Learning to prioritize your energy means choosing battles wisely. It means conserving strength for what truly matters. This focus sharpens your discipline because you are not spreading yourself thin. You are channeling your power toward growth and progress. Negative thoughts are also powerful energy drains. The mind can replay fears, doubts, and regrets endlessly if you allow it. These thoughts consume energy and lower your vibration. Guarding your energy means interrupting these cycles. Practice catching negative thoughts as they arise and consciously shifting your focus. Replace them with truths that empower and inspire. This mental discipline builds resilience. It protects your energy from being consumed by internal noise. Physical environment plays a major role in your energy levels. Spaces cluttered with mess, noise, or chaos make it harder to concentrate and stay calm. Take time to create environments that support your energy. This could mean decluttering your workspace, reducing noise, or surrounding yourself with things that inspire and calm you. A clear, organized space helps your mind stay focused and your spirit stay grounded. Energy flows freely in environments designed for clarity and purpose. People influence your energy more than you might realize. Some bring positivity, encouragement, and growth. Others drain, distract, and diminish. Protecting your energy means choosing your company carefully. Spend time with those who uplift you and challenge you to be better. Limit time with those who pull you down or create unnecessary drama. This choice is not about judgment, but about preservation. Your inner discipline depends on the quality of your relationships. Energy protection also means caring for your body. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition and inactivity weaken your energy reserves. When your body feels tired or unwell, your mind follows. Prioritize rest, eat nourishing foods, and move regularly to keep your energy strong. This physical foundation supports your mental and emotional discipline. Neglecting your body leaves you vulnerable to energy drains and weakens your ability to stay focused. Technology can be a hidden energy thief. Endless notifications, social media, and constant digital noise fragment your attention. Protecting your energy requires conscious use of technology. Set limits on screen time, turn off unnecessary notifications, schedule tech-free moments to recharge. Use devices intentionally instead of allowing them to control your attention. This digital discipline preserves your mental space and energy for meaningful tasks. Emotional energy is precious and must be guarded as well. Avoid getting caught in other people's drama or negativity. Practice empathy without absorbing their energy. Maintain emotional boundaries that keep you centered. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Protecting your emotional energy allows you to stay balanced, calm, and clear even when challenges arise. Develop rituals that recharge your energy daily. This could be quiet moments of reflection, deep breathing, meditation, or spending time in nature. These practices restore your energy and prepare you for the demands of the day. Rituals create a buffer against negative influences and strengthen your inner discipline. They remind you that your energy is worth protecting and replenishing regularly. When you protect your energy, you become more resilient. You face challenges with greater strength and clarity. You avoid burnout and overwhelm. You maintain a steady pace toward your goals. This energy management is not selfish, it is necessary. It allows you to show up fully for yourself and others. When your energy is protected, you become a source of strength, not a drain on those around you. Every choice you make affects your energy. Protect it fiercely. Guard it wisely. Your ability to stay disciplined, focused, and unstoppable depends on how well you manage this invisible but powerful resource. Take responsibility for your energy like you do for your actions. Choose to engage with what uplifts you. Choose to release what drains you. Make this choice daily. This commitment will transform your life from one of distraction and depletion into one of clarity, power, and sustained progress. Energy protection is an ongoing practice, not a one-time fix. It requires awareness, intention, and courage. Each day brings new challenges and new influences. Some will try to steal your focus and strength. Stand firm. Reclaim your energy again and again. This relentless protection creates a life where you are in control, not your environment or others. It builds an unstoppable foundation that carries you through any storm. As you grow in this practice, you will notice a shift. Your mind feels clearer, your decisions come easier, your mood stabilizes, your work flows more naturally, your relationships deepen. This is the reward of protecting your energy. It is the gateway to living with power and peace. Your energy is your life force. Guard it well. Choose what you allow in and what you refuse. This discipline shapes your daily experience and your long-term success. You are the gatekeeper of your energy. This role is both a responsibility and a privilege. Protecting your energy means protecting your potential. It means creating space for your best self to emerge. When you commit to this protection, you create a life that supports your growth rather than hinders it. You become unstoppable not because challenges disappear, but because your energy remains steady and strong, no matter what. Every moment offers a choice to protect or waste your energy. Make the choice that serves your purpose. Build a shield around your mind, body, and spirit. Refuse to carry what does not belong to you. Protect your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. This simple yet powerful discipline will change how you experience every day and what you achieve over a lifetime. Chapter 13. Push through fear by taking one bold step. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold a person back. It can freeze action, cloud judgment, and keep you trapped in comfort zones that no longer serve you. Yet fear is also a signal, not a stop sign. It points to the edges of growth and change. The key to becoming unstoppable is learning to push through fear rather than being controlled by it. The most effective way to do this is to take one bold step forward, even if fear is present. This single action breaks the cycle of paralysis and sets you on a path toward confidence and progress. Fear often feels overwhelming because the mind magnifies possible dangers or failures. It creates stories about what might go wrong, convincing you to stay safe. The truth is that the unknown will always carry some risk. There is no growth without uncertainty. The bold step is a conscious choice to move despite that uncertainty. It's a declaration that progress is more important than perfect conditions. Taking this step doesn't require you to have all the answers or to feel completely ready. It requires only that you act with intention in the face of fear. Bold action rewires your brain. Every time you face fear and still choose to act, you build a new neural pathway. Your mind learns that fear is not a full stop, but a challenge to overcome. This rewiring strengthens your courage muscle. Like any muscle, courage grows stronger with use. The more you push through fear, the less power it holds over your decisions. Over time, bold steps become easier because your mind expects progress rather than retreat. Taking one bold step is often more powerful than planning or thinking endlessly. Overthinking magnifies fear and builds resistance. Action cuts through hesitation. It creates momentum. Momentum shifts your entire mindset from I can't to I'm doing. Momentum builds confidence and energy. It fuels more action. This cycle of action and momentum builds unstoppable progress that no amount of fear can derail. Breaking fear into small steps makes it manageable. You don't need to leap into the deep end all at once. Identify one concrete action you can take immediately. It could be making a phone call, speaking up in a meeting, sending an email, or simply standing up for yourself. This step must feel challenging, but achievable. The goal is to prove to yourself that you can act even when fear is present. This single act becomes a victory and a foundation for the next step. When fear arises, recognize it without judgment. Fear is a natural response to the unknown. It does not mean you are weak or incapable. Acknowledge the feeling and remind yourself that fear and courage can coexist. You can be afraid and still choose to move forward. This mindset reduces the power of fear by separating it from your identity. You are not fear. You are the person who takes action despite it. Prepare for fear by creating a support system. Share your goals and fears with trusted people who encourage you to be brave. Their support provides a safety net when fear feels intense. Accountability partners can remind you of your strength and help you keep moving. Support doesn't eliminate fear but makes pushing through it less isolating. When others believe in your bold step, it becomes easier to believe in yourself. Celebrate every bold step, no matter the outcome. Progress is progress. Taking action is success. Sometimes the result is not perfect, but the growth you gain from trying is invaluable. Reflection on these moments builds resilience and motivation. When you see how far you've come, despite fear, your confidence deepens. This confidence is the foundation of an unstoppable mindset. Use fear as a teacher. After taking a bold step, review the experience honestly. What did you learn? How did the fear change? What surprised you about your capacity to act? These reflections turn fear into insight. They prepare you for bigger challenges ahead. Fear becomes a tool for growth rather than a barrier. Visualize success before taking the bold step. Imagine yourself acting confidently and achieving the desired outcome. Visualization prepares your mind for action. It reduces anxiety by creating a mental rehearsal. This practice primes your nervous system to respond calmly and clearly when it is time to move. Mental preparation enhances your ability to push through fear with clarity. Bold steps develop a habit of courage. Each time you act in spite of fear, you reinforce a pattern of bravery. This habit becomes part of your character. Over time, you become someone who embraces challenges rather than avoids them. This transformation changes how you approach life. Fear loses its grip and becomes fuel instead of a block. Fear often disguises itself as comfort or routine. It convinces you to stay where you feel safe. Pushing through fear means choosing discomfort as a sign of growth. It means welcoming challenges as opportunities to expand your limits. When you learn to value discomfort, you create space for extraordinary progress. Bold action requires discipline. It's easy to give in to fear because it feels like relief. Discipline means pushing beyond temporary comfort for long-term gain. It means remembering your purpose when fear screams to stop. Discipline and courage work together to build unstoppable momentum. Every person faces fear. What separates the unstoppable is the choice to act anyway. This choice is repeated again and again until courage becomes second nature. Your bold step today creates a stronger you tomorrow. It builds a life where fear does not hold you back, but propels you forward. The journey through fear is personal. Your bold step may look different from others. What matters is that you move forward. No matter how small, your action breaks the cycle of hesitation. It creates proof that you can handle discomfort and uncertainty. This proof builds confidence and deepens resilience. As you take bold steps, remember to be kind to yourself. Fear is hard, and growth is challenging. Celebrate your bravery even when progress feels slow. Self-compassion supports discipline by reducing internal resistance. It creates an environment where you can keep showing up with courage. Push through fear by focusing on the next right action. Don't try to conquer fear all at once. Instead, commit to one step today, take it fully and without hesitation, then prepare for the next. This approach breaks fear into manageable pieces and keeps you moving. When you look back on your life, the moments you will be proudest of are the times you acted despite fear. These moments define your character and shape your destiny. They teach you that you are more powerful than any fear that comes your way. Pushing through fear is not about being fearless. It's about being willing to feel fear and choose action anyway. This distinction is key. Fear will never disappear completely, but your response to it can change dramatically. Choose to respond with courage, discipline, and determination. The power of one bold step lies in its simplicity. It cuts through overthinking, doubt, and hesitation. It signals to your mind and body that you are ready to grow. It ignites momentum that builds unstoppable energy. Bold steps create a ripple effect. One act of courage inspires another. Your confidence grows with each success. Fear loses its control. You become a person who acts decisively and lives fully. Commit to taking one bold step today. Face fear directly and move through it. This choice is the foundation of an unstoppable life. Every step forward is a victory over fear and a leap toward your best self. This practice transforms you from someone held back by fear into someone propelled by courage. Your future depends on your willingness to act now, take the step, and become unstoppable. Chapter 14. Reflect every night on what you did right. Every night offers an opportunity to pause and look back on your day with intention. Reflecting on what you did right is a powerful practice that strengthens your discipline and fuels your growth. It shifts your focus from what went wrong or what is lacking to what you accomplished and how you honored your commitments. This habit rewires your brain to notice progress and build confidence, which are essential for becoming unstoppable. Reflection is not about perfection or judgment. It is about honest recognition of your efforts and choices. Taking time each evening to identify your wins, no matter how small, creates a mindset of positivity and progress. This mindset supports resilience when challenges arise and keeps you motivated to continue. When you regularly acknowledge what you did right, you reinforce your identity as someone who takes consistent action toward improvement. The process of reflecting can be simple but intentional. Find a quiet moment where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably and think about your day. Ask yourself, what did I do today that aligns with my goals? Where did I show discipline, courage, or kindness? What actions moved me closer to the person I want to become? These questions guide your attention to meaningful parts of your day, helping you see beyond distractions or setbacks. Writing down your reflections increases their impact. Keeping a journal allows you to capture your progress and revisit it on difficult days. This record becomes a source of encouragement and accountability. When you write, you clarify your thoughts and deepen your understanding of your own behavior. You create a dialogue with yourself that nurtures growth and discipline. Focusing on what you did right balances the natural human tendency to dwell on mistakes. While learning from errors is important, overemphasizing them drains energy and undermines confidence. Reflection on positives recharges your motivation and creates a foundation of self-trust. This trust strengthens your ability to keep showing up, even when progress feels slow or imperfect. Reflection also builds awareness of your strengths and patterns. You begin to notice what habits and choices consistently lead to positive outcomes. This awareness allows you to repeat effective behaviors and adjust those that don't serve you well. It sharpens your decision-making and helps you design your days with intention and clarity. Celebrating small wins is a key part of reflection. Recognizing your efforts, whether it's sticking to a routine, speaking up, or simply maintaining focus, creates a sense of accomplishment. These moments are the building blocks of lasting change. They remind you that growth is a series of small, consistent actions rather than sudden leaps. Reflection cultivates gratitude for your own efforts. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you appreciate what you did right, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages more disciplined choices. Gratitude also softens self-criticism, allowing you to approach challenges with kindness rather than frustration. Making reflection a daily habit sets a rhythm that supports lifelong growth. The routine signals to your mind that progress is ongoing and worth tracking. This rhythm stabilizes your focus and reinforces your commitment. Over time, nightly reflection becomes a natural part of your day that you look forward to rather than a chore. Reflection helps you close the day with intention. It creates a sense of completion and readiness for rest. When you acknowledge your achievements, you reduce anxiety and regret. Your mind becomes calm and prepared for restorative sleep. Quality rest then supports your energy and discipline the next day. This practice also connects your daily actions to your bigger purpose. Reflection reveals how small choices accumulate into meaningful progress. It strengthens your sense of why you pursue discipline and growth. This deeper connection fuels your motivation and helps you persist through difficulties. Sharing your reflections with a trusted person can amplify their impact. Discussing your wins and insights with someone who supports you creates accountability and encouragement. This external connection reinforces your internal discipline and provides additional perspective on your journey. Reflection does not mean ignoring challenges or setbacks. It means acknowledging them without letting them define your story. By balancing honest self-assessment with recognition of progress, you maintain a balanced and realistic view of your growth. This balance protects your confidence and keeps you moving forward. Even on difficult days, reflection reveals moments of strength. Perhaps you resisted giving up, managed your emotions, or took a small positive step despite adversity. These moments are victories that deserve recognition. Reflecting on them nurtures resilience and builds your capacity to handle future challenges. Reflection sharpens your focus on what matters most. It filters out distractions and trivial concerns by highlighting actions aligned with your goals. This clarity enhances your efficiency and discipline. You learn to invest your energy where it has the greatest impact. The habit of reflecting every night creates a dialogue between your present and your future self. You honor your progress and plan for improvement. This dialogue builds self-awareness and intentionality, essential qualities for mastering daily discipline. Reflection also improves your emotional intelligence. It encourages you to recognize your feelings related to your actions. Understanding your emotional responses helps you manage them effectively and make wiser choices. Emotional awareness strengthens your inner discipline and self-control. Consistent reflection fosters a growth mindset. You come to see every day as an opportunity to learn and improve. This perspective reduces fear of failure and increases your willingness to try new things. Growth mindset and reflection work together to create unstoppable momentum. Reflection grounds you in reality while inspiring hope. It balances acknowledgement of where you are with a clear vision of where you want to go. This balance keeps you motivated and prevents discouragement. It fuels steady progress toward your highest potential. Incorporating reflection into your evening routine anchors your discipline practice. It becomes a natural conclusion to your day and a springboard for the next. This continuity strengthens your commitment and makes improvement part of your identity. The power of reflection lies in its simplicity and consistency. A few focused minutes each night accumulate into profound personal transformation. This daily pause to recognize what you did right nurtures a positive mindset, sharpens your focus, and fuels your courage. Reflection every night is an act of self-respect. It honors your efforts and acknowledges your growth. This respect builds self-esteem and motivates ongoing discipline. It reminds you that you are capable of progress and worthy of success. By making reflection a daily habit, you create a foundation for unstoppable growth. Your confidence deepens, your clarity sharpens, and your motivation endures. Each night you look back. You build strength to move forward. This practice becomes a cornerstone of a disciplined, purposeful life. Reflection connects the dots between your actions and your dreams. It shows you that every choice matters and every day counts. This awareness transforms your daily discipline from a task into a meaningful journey. It turns effort into achievement and intentions into reality. Commit to reflecting every night on what you did right. Make this moment sacred and consistent. Let it remind you of your progress and your power. This simple practice will guide you steadily toward becoming truly unstoppable. Chapter 15. Act with courage, even when you doubt yourself. Every night offers an opportunity to pause and look back on your day with intention. Reflecting on what you did right is a powerful practice that strengthens your discipline and fuels your growth. It shifts your focus from what went wrong or what is lacking to what you accomplished and how you honored your commitments. This habit rewires your brain to notice progress and build confidence, which are essential for becoming unstoppable. Reflection is not about perfection or judgment. It is about honest recognition of your efforts and choices. Taking time each evening to identify your wins, no matter how small, creates a mindset of positivity and progress. This mindset supports resilience when challenges arise and keeps you motivated to continue. When you regularly acknowledge what you did right, you reinforce your identity as someone who takes consistent action toward improvement. The process of reflecting can be simple, but intentional. Find a quiet moment where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably and think about your day. Ask yourself, what did I do today that aligns with my goals? Where did I show discipline, courage, or kindness? What actions moved me closer to the person I want to become? These questions guide your attention to meaningful parts of your day, helping you see beyond distractions or setbacks. Writing down your reflections increases their impact. Keeping a journal allows you to capture your progress and revisit it on difficult days. This record becomes a source of encouragement and accountability. When you write, you clarify your thoughts and deepen your understanding of your own behavior. You create a dialogue with yourself that nurtures growth and discipline. Focusing on what you did right balances the natural human tendency to dwell on mistakes. While learning from errors is important, overemphasizing them drains energy and undermines confidence. Reflection on positives recharges your motivation and creates a foundation of self-trust. This trust strengthens your ability to keep showing up even when progress feels slow or imperfect. Reflection also builds awareness of your strengths and patterns. You begin to notice what habits and choices consistently lead to positive outcomes. This awareness allows you to repeat effective behaviors and adjust those that don't serve you well. It sharpens your decision-making and helps you design your days with intention and clarity. Celebrating small wins is a key part of reflection. Recognizing your efforts, whether it's sticking to a routine, speaking up, or simply maintaining focus, creates a sense of accomplishment. These moments are the building blocks of lasting change. They remind you that growth is a series of small, consistent actions rather than sudden leaps. Reflection cultivates gratitude for your own efforts. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you appreciate what you did right, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages more disciplined choices. Gratitude also softens self-criticism, allowing you to approach challenges with kindness rather than frustration. Making reflection a daily habit sets a rhythm that supports lifelong growth. The routine signals to your mind that progress is ongoing and worth tracking. This rhythm stabilizes your focus and reinforces your commitment. Over time, nightly reflection becomes a natural part of your day that you look forward to rather than a chore. Reflection helps you close the day with intention. It creates a sense of completion and readiness for rest. When you acknowledge your achievements, you reduce anxiety and regret. Your mind becomes calm and prepared for restorative sleep. Quality rest then supports your energy and discipline the next day. This practice also connects your daily actions to your bigger purpose. Reflection reveals how small choices accumulate into meaningful progress. It strengthens your sense of why you pursue discipline and growth, This deeper connection fuels your motivation and helps you persist through difficulties. Sharing your reflections with a trusted person can amplify their impact. Discussing your wins and insights with someone who supports you creates accountability and encouragement. This external connection reinforces your internal discipline and provides additional perspective on your journey. Reflection does not mean ignoring challenges or setbacks. It means acknowledging them without letting them define your story. By balancing honest self-assessment with recognition of progress, you maintain a balanced and realistic view of your growth. This balance protects your confidence and keeps you moving forward. Even on difficult days, reflection reveals moments of strength. Perhaps you resisted giving up, managed your emotions, or took a small positive step despite adversity. These moments are victories that deserve recognition. Reflecting on them nurtures resilience and builds your capacity to handle future challenges. Reflection sharpens your focus on what matters most. It filters out distractions and trivial concerns by highlighting actions aligned with your goals. This clarity enhances your efficiency and discipline. You learn to invest your energy where it has the greatest impact. The habit of reflecting every night creates a dialogue between your present and your future self. You honor your progress and plan for improvement. This dialogue builds self-awareness and intentionality, essential qualities for mastering daily discipline. Reflection also improves your emotional intelligence. It encourages you to recognize your feelings related to your actions. Understanding your emotional responses helps you manage them effectively and make wiser choices. Emotional awareness strengthens your inner discipline and self-control. Consistent reflection fosters a growth mindset. You come to see every day as an opportunity to learn and improve. This perspective reduces fear of failure and increases your willingness to try new things. Growth mindset and reflection work together to create unstoppable momentum. Reflection grounds you in reality while inspiring hope. It balances acknowledgement of where you are with a clear vision of where you want to go. This balance keeps you motivated and prevents discouragement. It fuels steady progress toward your highest potential. Incorporating reflection into your evening routine anchors your discipline practice. It becomes a natural conclusion to your day and a springboard for the next. This continuity strengthens your commitment and makes improvement part of your identity. The power of reflection lies in its simplicity and consistency. A few focused minutes each night accumulate into profound personal transformation. This daily pause to recognize what you did right nurtures a positive mindset, sharpens your focus, and fuels your courage. Reflection every night is an act of self-respect. It honors your efforts and acknowledges your growth. This respect builds self-esteem and motivates ongoing discipline. It reminds you that you are capable of progress and worthy of success. By making reflection a daily habit, you create a foundation for unstoppable growth. Your confidence deepens, your clarity sharpens, and your motivation endures. Each night you look back, you build strength to move forward. This practice becomes a cornerstone of a disciplined, purposeful life. Reflection connects the dots between your actions and your dreams. It shows you that every choice matters and every day counts. This awareness transforms your daily discipline from a task into a meaningful journey. It turns effort into achievement and intentions into reality. Commit to reflecting every night on what you did right. Make this moment sacred and consistent. Let it remind you of your progress and your power. This simple practice will guide you steadily toward becoming truly unstoppable. Chapter 16. Choose growth over comfort in every situation. Courage is not the absence of doubt. It is action taken despite uncertainty and fear. Doubt often creeps in when you face challenges or step into unknown territory. It whispers that you are not ready, not capable, or that failure is imminent. Acting with courage, even when doubt exists, is the defining characteristic of unstoppable people. It separates those who grow and succeed from those who remain stuck in hesitation and fear. Doubt is a natural part of being human. Everyone experiences it. The key is not to wait until doubt disappears before moving forward, because doubt rarely vanishes completely. Waiting for full confidence is a trap that leads to procrastination and missed opportunities. Courage means stepping into action with doubt as your companion rather than your enemy. Taking action in the face of doubt builds strength. Each time you choose courage over hesitation, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than your fears suggest. This proof grows your self-trust and resilience. It rewires your brain to expect success from effort rather than failure from fear. The more you act courageously despite doubt, the less power doubt holds over your decisions. Courageous action requires discipline. It means deciding that progress matters more than comfort or certainty. You decide that your goals and values outweigh the voice of doubt. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action. It carries you forward when feelings of insecurity threaten to stop you. This inner strength is what makes you unstoppable. One way to act with courage amid doubt is to focus on the next small step. When the whole task feels overwhelming or your confidence shakes, narrow your attention to one immediate action. This keeps you grounded and prevents paralysis. Small steps accumulate into big progress and gradually dissolve doubt into confidence. Doubt often arises from negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. Recognizing these thoughts is essential. When you hear doubts like "I'm not good enough" or "I will fail," challenge them by asking for evidence and perspective. Most doubt is rooted in fear, not facts. This mental challenge weakens doubt's grip and clears space for courageous action. Surrounding yourself with supportive people strengthens courage. Share your goals and doubts with those who encourage and believe in you. Their support boosts your confidence and reminds you of your strengths. Encouragement helps you push past moments when doubt feels overwhelming. Courage grows in community as well as within. Preparation reduces doubt but does not eliminate it. Taking time to plan and gather resources builds confidence. Knowing you have a strategy and tools increases your willingness to act. However, preparation without action is not courage. Action is the ultimate antidote to doubt. You must move even when preparation feels incomplete. Visualizing success before acting can calm doubt. Imagine yourself completing the task confidently and successfully. This mental rehearsal builds positive expectation and reduces anxiety. Visualization prepares your mind and body to respond calmly when it is time to take real steps forward. Accepting that mistakes and setbacks are part of growth helps you act despite doubt. Fear of failure fuels doubt, but failure is not final unless you quit. Viewing mistakes as feedback and learning opportunities changes your relationship with doubt. It becomes less a warning and more a signal to adjust and keep going. Courageous action requires self-compassion. Doubt can bring harsh self-criticism that sabotages effort. Treat yourself with kindness when doubt arises. Acknowledge your fears without judgment. This compassion creates an environment where you can keep moving forward without being trapped by negative emotions. Developing a habit of courage turns it into a natural response. Repeatedly choosing action despite doubt creates a pattern that strengthens over time. This habit shifts your identity from someone held back by fear to someone who embraces challenges. Courage becomes part of who you are rather than a rare effort. Focus on your why when doubt threatens to stop you. Remember why your goals matter and what they represent for your life. This connection to purpose fuels determination and helps you rise above uncertainty. A strong why anchors courage when doubt tries to pull you down. Sometimes acting with courage means stepping into discomfort. Doubt and discomfort often travel together because growth challenges your current limits. Embracing discomfort as a sign of progress changes your mindset. You learn to welcome the uneasy feelings that accompany bold action rather than avoiding them. Keep a record of courageous actions. Writing down moments when you acted despite doubt reinforces your progress. This record serves as a reminder that courage is possible and real. Reflecting on past successes boosts your confidence for future challenges. When doubt surfaces, breathe deeply and focus on the present moment. Anxiety about future outcomes often fuels doubt. Centering yourself in the here and now calms your nervous system and clears your mind. This clarity supports thoughtful and courageous action rather than hesitation. Trusting your intuition helps you act with courage even when doubt lingers. Your intuition is the inner voice shaped by experience and values. Listening to it provides guidance when logic is clouded by fear. Acting in alignment with your intuition builds confidence and integrity. Courage grows stronger when paired with perseverance. Doubt may return repeatedly, but consistent action wears it down. Persistence through doubt develops a mindset that no challenge or uncertainty can stop your progress. This relentless commitment creates unstoppable momentum. Avoid seeking external validation before acting. Doubt often seeks reassurance from others, but waiting for approval delays courage. The most courageous people act because of internal conviction, not external approval. Build your confidence from within and trust your own judgment. Set realistic expectations for yourself. Doubt can arise when goals feel unreachable or perfection is demanded. Accepting that progress is often imperfect and nonlinear reduces pressure. This acceptance frees you to act courageously without fear of failing an impossible standard. Acting with courage when doubting yourself expands your comfort zone. Each brave action stretches your limits and builds new capacities. Over time, what once felt scary becomes familiar and manageable. This expansion is a key part of becoming unstoppable. Courage in the face of doubt inspires others. Your willingness to act despite uncertainty models strength and resilience. It creates a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to face their own fears. This shared courage builds stronger communities and support networks. Celebrate your courage daily. Recognize the effort it takes to act when you doubt yourself. This celebration reinforces your commitment and builds positive momentum. It reminds you that courage is a habit worth cultivating and honoring. Ultimately, courage is a choice you make moment by moment. Doubt will not vanish, but your response to it shapes your path. Choosing to act despite doubt transforms fear into fuel and hesitation into progress. This choice creates a life where you are no longer a victim of uncertainty, but a master of your destiny. Your future depends on courage today. Every step taken despite doubt is a victory that builds unstoppable momentum. Act with courage now and watch how your doubts shrink while your power grows. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary and how you become truly unstoppable. Chapter 17. Repeat the right choices until they become you. The secret to becoming unstoppable lies in consistency. Repeating the right choices daily creates the foundation for lasting transformation. Every decision you make shapes who you are becoming. This means that your identity is not fixed, but molded by the patterns you build through your actions. When you deliberately repeat positive habits and decisions, they move from being external tasks to an integrated part of your character. Every choice has the potential to reinforce your discipline, values, and goals. Small right choices may seem insignificant alone, but their power multiplies over time. They create momentum that propels you forward even when motivation dips. The process of repetition ingrains these choices in your mind and body, making them automatic. Once automatic, these right choices require less effort, freeing your energy for bigger challenges. The human brain is wired to learn through repetition. Neural pathways strengthen as you consistently practice specific behaviors. This biological fact means that your habits define your identity more than any single decision or burst of motivation. By intentionally choosing actions aligned with your desired self, you train your brain to support your growth. This rewiring is what allows you to become unstoppable over time. Choosing wisely and repeating those choices requires mindfulness. It involves paying close attention to your decisions and their consequences. When you practice awareness, you catch moments where old habits or distractions might pull you off course. This self-awareness gives you the power to redirect yourself toward the right choices. It transforms your growth journey from random effort into a focused and intentional path. Discipline is the muscle that supports this repetition. It carries you through days when energy is low or motivation fades. Discipline turns choice into routine. This routine forms a reliable structure where positive actions become expected and normal. As you repeat the right choices within this structure, your identity solidifies around them. This is how lasting change happens. Repetition also builds confidence. Each time you choose wisely, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted to do what you say. This trust is essential for self-belief and resilience. When challenges arise, your confidence in your own decisions helps you persevere. You become less reactive to setbacks and more anchored in your commitment to growth. It is important to start with choices that are clear and manageable. Overloading yourself with too many changes at once leads to overwhelm and inconsistency. Pick one or two right choices that have meaningful impact on your life. Focus on repeating these daily until they become ingrained habits. Once solidified, you can add more layers of positive choices without losing momentum. Accountability supports repetition. Sharing your goals and progress with someone else creates external reminders and encouragement. This added layer of support makes it harder to slip back into old patterns. Accountability keeps you honest with yourself and motivates you to maintain your new identity as someone who consistently chooses well. Tracking your progress is a powerful tool. Keeping a log or journal of your daily right choices highlights your consistency and growth. Seeing your streak builds motivation and pride. It turns abstract goals into visible achievements. Tracking also helps you spot patterns that work and those that need adjustment, making your repetition smarter and more effective. Repetition builds resilience. The more you practice making right choices, the stronger your ability to handle temptation, distractions, or discomfort becomes. You develop a mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities to reinforce your positive habits. This resilience turns obstacles into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. It's crucial to remain patient during this process. Identity shifts do not happen overnight. Repetition takes time to solidify habits and rewire your brain. There will be days when you falter or struggle. These moments do not erase your progress. Keep returning to your right choices and recommit each day. Consistent repetition over weeks and months will yield deep and lasting change. Celebrate the small wins that come from repeating the right choices. Every successful day is proof that you are growing stronger. Recognizing these victories builds positive momentum and reinforces your identity. This positive reinforcement creates a feedback loop that encourages ongoing commitment to your growth. Repetition also creates clarity about who you want to be. As you consistently act in alignment with your values and goals, your sense of self becomes sharper. You naturally attract situations, people, and opportunities that support your growth. Your environment begins to reflect and reinforce the choices you are making. This synergy accelerates your progress. Avoid the trap of perfectionism. Repetition is about persistence, not flawless execution. There will be days when your choices aren't perfect, or when you deviate from your ideal path. What matters is your ability to return and keep repeating the right actions. This commitment builds grit and strengthens your resolve. Repetition shapes your mindset as much as your behavior. Each time you choose well, you reinforce beliefs about your ability to grow and succeed. This shift in mindset is crucial for long-term transformation. It moves you from a place of doubt or limitation to one of empowerment and possibility. Be mindful of the quality of your choices. Repeating the right choices means deliberately selecting actions that truly serve your growth. Avoid falling into the routine of habits that feel easy but do not advance your goals. Choose actions that challenge you, improve you, and align with your vision of success. Consistency in repetition fosters discipline in all areas of life. The habit of repeating right choices in one domain, like health or work, spills over into other areas. You become a person who values discipline and growth across the board. This holistic approach creates unstoppable momentum and a balanced, fulfilling life. Repetition demands focus. Multitasking or scattered attention reduces the effectiveness of your choices. Concentrate on what matters most and repeat those actions with full presence. This focus maximizes your effort and accelerates habit formation. Reflection enhances repetition. Periodically review the choices you are repeating and their outcomes. Reflection allows you to refine your approach, celebrate progress, and adjust goals if necessary. This continuous feedback loop makes your growth dynamic and responsive. Repetition nurtures self-respect. Each right choice honors your commitment to yourself and your future. This respect builds inner peace and reduces internal conflict. When your actions consistently reflect your values, you experience greater harmony and confidence. Remember that repetition is a form of practice. Like mastering any skill, becoming unstoppable requires time, effort, and repetition. The discipline of showing up every day and choosing well is your training ground. Your life becomes the result of your ongoing practice. Use repetition to create identity change. The mantra, repeat the right choices until they become you, means embodying your goals through action. You stop chasing change and start living it. This shift transforms aspirations into reality. In conclusion, repeating the right choices daily is the cornerstone of unstoppable growth. It builds discipline, confidence, resilience, and clarity. This consistent practice rewires your brain, shapes your mindset, and molds your character. By committing to this repetition, you create a powerful momentum that carries you toward your highest potential. You become not just someone who acts occasionally, but someone whose identity is defined by wise, deliberate action. This transformation is the essence of daily discipline and true personal power. Chapter 18. Track your progress and celebrate small wins often. Tracking progress and celebrating small wins are essential habits for anyone committed to growth and daily discipline. Without clear markers of progress, it's easy to lose sight of how far you've come and to feel stuck or discouraged. When you actively monitor your journey and recognize each step forward, you build motivation, clarity, and momentum that sustain long-term success. This practice transforms abstract goals into tangible achievements and keeps your spirit energized. Tracking progress means paying attention to your actions and results in a consistent and organized way. It requires setting measurable benchmarks and reviewing them regularly. This can be done through journals, apps, charts, or simple lists, tools that fit your style and keep you accountable. Recording your efforts and outcomes creates an objective view of your journey, cutting through emotional ups and downs. It offers clear evidence of your growth that you can revisit when motivation wavers. Celebrating small wins often is about recognizing and appreciating the smaller steps that lead to your bigger goals. These wins might seem minor or ordinary, but they accumulate into significant transformation. Each small success is a sign that your daily discipline is working and that you are moving in the right direction. When you pause to celebrate these moments, you reinforce positive behavior and strengthen your commitment to continue. The process of tracking progress increases your self-awareness. By reviewing what you've done, you become more conscious of what actions lead to success and which ones require adjustment. This clarity enables smarter decisions and helps you optimize your routines. Instead of blindly pushing forward, you work with purpose, guided by data about your own performance. Celebrating small wins fuels your confidence. It reminds you that success is not just a distant dream, but a reality happening every day. This sense of achievement builds self-belief and reduces fear of failure. Knowing that you can consistently make progress empowers you to tackle larger challenges with courage. Tracking progress helps you identify patterns and habits. Over time, you notice the routines that support your growth and those that hinder it. This insight allows you to reinforce good habits and eliminate distractions or negative behaviors. It turns growth into a cycle of continuous improvement rather than random effort. Recognition of small wins releases positive emotions. Joy, pride, and satisfaction invigorate your mind and body. These feelings increase your motivation and resilience. When you associate progress with positive emotions, you naturally want to keep going. This emotional reward system is a powerful driver of consistent discipline. Tracking progress also prevents burnout. When you see steady progress, even if slow, you avoid discouragement and fatigue. It helps you pace yourself and celebrate sustainable growth, rather than exhausting bursts of effort. This balance supports long-term endurance on your path. Celebration can take many forms. It can be a private moment of gratitude, a journal entry, sharing your success with a friend, or treating yourself to something enjoyable. The key is to acknowledge the effort and value of your achievement. This act of appreciation makes your growth feel meaningful and worth the work. Accountability partners or groups enhance both tracking and celebration. Sharing your progress with others creates social support and motivation. Others can cheer your wins and remind you of your commitment when you face challenges. This community connection strengthens your discipline and joy in the process. Tracking progress encourages goal refinement. As you gather information about your journey, you might find that some goals need adjustment to stay realistic and inspiring. Reflection on your data helps you stay aligned with what truly matters and maintain a growth mindset. This adaptability keeps your discipline dynamic and relevant. When progress feels slow or invisible, your records provide evidence of growth that your mind might overlook. This reassurance prevents giving up prematurely and encourages patience. You learn that progress is often gradual and cumulative, not always dramatic or immediate. Celebrating small wins combats perfectionism. Waiting for perfect results or grand milestones can paralyze action. Focusing on small successes shifts attention to effort and consistency rather than flawless outcomes. This mindset shift supports resilience and reduces anxiety about performance. Tracking progress helps you manage setbacks. When things don't go as planned, your records help you understand what happened and how to adjust. This problem-solving approach turns failures into learning opportunities instead of reasons to quit. It strengthens your ability to recover and keep moving forward. Celebrating progress builds gratitude. Recognizing your growth fosters appreciation for your own efforts and circumstances. Gratitude improves mental well-being and encourages a positive outlook. This positivity attracts more opportunities and energy for continued growth. Tracking progress enhances focus. Knowing that you will review your actions regularly encourages you to be more deliberate and attentive in your daily choices. This focus improves the quality of your efforts and reduces wasted energy on distractions. The habit of celebration nourishes self-respect. Honoring your own efforts communicates that you value yourself and your journey. This respect builds inner peace and reinforces your commitment to lifelong discipline. Tracking and celebrating are acts of self-love and empowerment. They acknowledge that your growth matters and that you deserve to recognize your achievements. This mindset transforms discipline from a duty into a rewarding process. Keeping your tracking methods simple increases consistency. Overcomplicating can lead to procrastination or burnout. Choose tools that are easy to use and enjoyable so that tracking becomes a natural part of your routine. Celebration strengthens your emotional connection to your goals. When you link success to positive feelings, you create a deeper motivation beyond obligation. This emotional bond fuels sustained effort. Tracking progress and celebrating wins create a feedback loop that propels you forward. Each success boosts your confidence and focus, leading to more disciplined choices. This cycle builds unstoppable momentum. Tracking progress helps you set realistic timelines. You gain a clear picture of how long growth takes and can plan accordingly. This realistic pacing reduces frustration and keeps your motivation steady. Celebrating small wins shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Instead of focusing on what's missing or unfinished, you see how much you have accomplished. This abundant perspective increases satisfaction and resilience. Tracking your progress enhances your problem-solving skills. By analyzing your efforts and results, you learn to overcome obstacles and improve strategies. This growth in skills supports your overall development. Celebration creates joyful rituals around discipline. Turning progress into moments of happiness makes the journey enjoyable rather than burdensome. These positive rituals increase your likelihood of maintaining your habits. Tracking and celebration improve your ability to set clear goals. With ongoing feedback, you learn to define objectives that are challenging yet achievable. This clarity improves your focus and success rate. Tracking your progress helps you maintain balance. You notice if you are neglecting certain areas of your life and can adjust accordingly. This holistic awareness supports sustainable growth. Celebrating wins nurtures your inner motivation. It reminds you that growth is personally meaningful and fulfilling. This intrinsic motivation is more powerful and lasting than external rewards. In summary, tracking your progress and celebrating small wins are vital practices that fuel continuous growth. They provide clarity, motivation, confidence, and resilience. These habits transform your journey into an empowering and rewarding process. By committing to monitor your efforts and honor each success, you create unstoppable momentum toward your highest potential. Your daily discipline becomes a source of joy and strength that sustains you through challenges and leads to lasting transformation. Chapter 19. Stay consistent when no one is watching you. True consistency shines brightest when no one is watching. It is easy to show up and perform when others are present, applauding your efforts or holding you accountable. Yet the real test of discipline and character occurs in the quiet moments of solitude, when external validation is absent. Developing the strength to stay consistent behind closed doors builds a foundation that no circumstance or observer can shake. This internal consistency is what transforms habits into identity and goals into achievements. Consistency without an audience requires a deep commitment to your own standards. When nobody else is monitoring your actions, you rely solely on your integrity and self-discipline. This means doing what you said you would do, even if it goes unnoticed or unrewarded immediately. Your motivation shifts from external recognition to internal conviction. The foundation of your success becomes your promise to yourself rather than approval from others. Maintaining focus in solitude demands mindfulness. When distractions arise or motivation falters, awareness allows you to recognize these moments without judgment. You can then gently redirect your energy toward your chosen path. This mental clarity fosters resilience and strengthens your ability to persist without needing external encouragement. The habit of consistency in private builds self-trust. Each time you follow through on your commitments alone, you send a powerful message to yourself that you can be relied upon. This trust becomes a source of confidence and stability, especially during times of uncertainty or challenge. It roots your growth in something permanent and unshakable. One practical way to cultivate consistency when no one is watching is to create a simple but meaningful routine. This routine acts as a reliable framework that guides your daily actions. By embedding your discipline into regular habits, you reduce the effort required to stay on track. Over time, these routines become effortless and part of your identity. Accountability to yourself is a skill that deepens with practice. Setting clear intentions each day and reviewing them regularly reinforces your commitment. Journaling, self-reflection, or setting reminders can serve as internal motivators. These tools maintain your awareness and keep your goals alive, even without external pressure. The quiet moments of working alone teach patience and humility. Progress often occurs slowly and without fanfare. Developing patience allows you to value these incremental steps and trust the process. Humility keeps your focus on growth rather than praise, making your efforts sustainable and genuine. Consistency without observers also cultivates discipline beyond specific tasks. It strengthens your overall character and self-control. When you train yourself to act with integrity in unseen moments, this virtue spills into every area of life. Your relationships, work ethic, and personal habits all benefit from this deepened discipline. Temptations and excuses are common challenges during solitary effort. When no one is watching, it can be tempting to skip a workout, delay work, or avoid uncomfortable tasks. Overcoming these urges requires a mindset focused on long-term vision rather than immediate gratification. Reminding yourself of your ultimate purpose helps you resist shortcuts and maintain consistency. Staying consistent behind the scenes develops mental toughness. You learn to rely on your internal resources rather than external validation. This independence builds resilience and prepares you for inevitable obstacles. Challenges no longer derail you because your foundation is rooted in your own commitment. This kind of consistency nurtures authenticity. When your actions align with your values regardless of external attention, you live a life of integrity. Authenticity builds self-respect and peace. It also attracts genuine relationships and opportunities aligned with your true self. Consistency when no one is watching sharpens your ability to self-motivate. You develop habits of inspiring yourself through internal dialogue, visualization, or reflection. This self-generated motivation becomes a powerful tool that fuels continuous progress even in isolation. Creating an environment that supports private consistency helps sustain your efforts. Organizing your space to minimize distractions and reminders to reinforce your goals increases your chances of staying focused. Small changes like setting specific times for tasks or preparing materials in advance create smoother routines. Recognizing that your growth is your responsibility empowers you to take control. No one else can do the hard work for you. This ownership turns your journey into a personal mission rather than a response to external demands. It instills pride and a sense of purpose in your consistent efforts. Consistent action in solitude leads to mastery. The cumulative effect of repeated focused effort hones your skills and knowledge. Mastery brings confidence and opens doors to new opportunities. This progress often occurs unnoticed, but lays the groundwork for visible success later. Avoid relying solely on external rewards or praise to fuel your discipline. These are temporary and unpredictable. Building a stable internal drive ensures your consistency is sustainable and resilient. You become the source of your own motivation and encouragement. Self-compassion plays a role in maintaining consistency alone. When you falter, treating yourself kindly allows you to recover without harsh judgment. This balance between discipline and compassion fosters a healthy mindset that supports long-term commitment. Reflection on your private efforts deepens your understanding of your own growth. Regularly reviewing your journey in solitude helps you identify strengths, challenges, and areas for improvement. This insight makes your consistency smarter and more effective over time. Consistency, when unseen, is a demonstration of true character. It reveals the depth of your commitment to your values and goals. Living in this way prepares you for leadership, trustworthiness, and respect from others, because your integrity is proven through actions rather than appearances. The habit of working diligently without audience also builds humility. You learn that success is earned through persistent effort, not applause. This humility keeps you grounded and focused on continuous improvement rather than ego or recognition. Consistency behind the scenes creates momentum that carries you forward. Even small, regular actions accumulate into significant progress. This momentum is a powerful force that reduces resistance and makes your goals feel achievable. It is important to cultivate joy in the process of consistent effort, finding satisfaction in the discipline itself rather than only the outcome sustains motivation. This joy transforms work into a meaningful practice rather than a chore. Consistency in private develops time management skills. You learn to allocate your energy and attention wisely without external prompts. This skill improves your productivity and balance across life's demands, maintaining focus on your intrinsic reasons for growth. Strengthens consistency. When your why is deeply connected to your values and aspirations, it fuels persistence in solitude. This connection anchors your discipline and inspires you to keep going. Consistency, when no one is watching, builds a legacy of excellence. Your daily choices, repeated over time, define the quality of your life and impact. This legacy extends beyond external recognition into personal fulfillment and influence. In conclusion, staying consistent in unseen moments forms the backbone of unstoppable growth. It requires integrity, discipline, self-motivation, and patience. This internal consistency creates a strong foundation that supports your goals and character no matter the circumstances. Cultivating this habit transforms you into a person who acts from conviction rather than external pressure. This transformation is the essence of daily discipline and the key to becoming truly unstoppable. Chapter 20. Live each day like it shapes your whole life. Every day holds immense power because it is a building block of your entire life. Living each day with the awareness that your actions shape your future brings purpose to even the smallest moments. The choices you make today accumulate and define the course of your journey. This mindset transforms ordinary routines into deliberate acts of creation. When you see each day as an opportunity to craft your life, you harness the energy to live fully and intentionally. Living like every day matters means embracing responsibility for your time and energy. You no longer see days as disposable or routine. Instead, you recognize the impact of your decisions and how they ripple into the future. This shift in perspective motivates you to prioritize what truly matters and discard distractions that do not serve your growth. Time becomes a precious resource to be managed wisely. Your mindset toward daily living shapes your habits, which in turn shapes your identity. When you treat every day as significant, you are more likely to make choices that align with your values and goals. This consistent alignment creates a coherent sense of self that feels authentic and empowering. You no longer compartmentalize growth into vague plans, but integrate it seamlessly into daily life. Living with this intensity requires presence and focus. Being present allows you to fully engage with each moment, making your actions purposeful. When distracted or detached, you risk drifting through days without meaningful progress. Presence cultivates mindfulness, enabling you to respond thoughtfully to challenges and opportunities. This active engagement fuels productivity and satisfaction. Making each day count also involves gratitude. Recognizing the value in everyday experiences nurtures a positive outlook. Gratitude grounds you in the present and highlights progress even during hard times. This mindset shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, increasing resilience and motivation. Appreciating your daily life enriches your journey and deepens fulfillment. Living as if today shapes your whole life requires intentional planning without rigid perfectionism. Setting clear daily goals guides your focus but leaves room for flexibility and learning. This balance prevents overwhelm and keeps your momentum steady. Daily plans become commitments to your vision rather than burdensome tasks. This approach nurtures confidence and discipline. Recognizing that small actions add up to big results motivates consistent effort. It helps you resist the temptation to postpone or minimize daily choices. When you understand the cumulative effect, you take ownership of each moment and choose wisely. This awareness builds perseverance and patience, essential qualities for lasting change. Living every day like it matters creates urgency without panic. You act with purpose and energy without being consumed by fear or anxiety. This balanced urgency sharpens your decision-making and pushes you to use your time productively. It keeps you moving forward steadily rather than stalled by indecision or procrastination. This mindset transforms challenges into opportunities. When you see each day as shaping your life, obstacles become moments for growth rather than setbacks. You learn to adapt, problem solve, and find meaning even in difficulty. This resilience empowers you to navigate uncertainty with grace and strength. Choosing to live intentionally also impacts your relationships. You invest time and care in people who matter and communicate with honesty and respect. This presence enriches connections and creates a supportive environment for your growth. Meaningful relationships provide encouragement and hold you accountable to your highest self. Living each day with purpose fuels self-respect. When you honor your commitments daily, you build integrity and confidence. This respect for yourself strengthens your resolve and reduces internal conflict. Your actions align with your values, creating harmony and peace within. The habit of viewing each day as formative encourages continuous learning. You seek knowledge, feedback, and experiences that expand your perspective. This openness to growth keeps your life dynamic and prevents stagnation. Learning becomes a daily practice that enriches your skills and wisdom. When you live like every day shapes your whole life, you create momentum. Each productive and intentional day propels you closer to your goals. Momentum reduces resistance and makes success feel attainable. This flow of progress inspires you to keep going, even when faced with obstacles. This mindset helps you prioritize self-care. Recognizing that your well-being affects every day's quality motivates you to rest, nourish, and recharge. Taking care of your body and mind enhances your capacity to act intentionally. Self-care is not indulgence, but a vital part of daily discipline. Living with this awareness encourages simplicity. You focus on what truly matters and eliminate clutter, mental, physical, and emotional. Simplifying your life creates space for meaningful actions and reduces overwhelm. Clarity and focus increase your effectiveness and joy. This approach fosters gratitude for time itself. Instead of wishing for more hours, you maximize the time you have. You invest fully in present moments and trust the process of gradual progress. This acceptance creates peace and reduces stress about the future. Living each day like it shapes your whole life builds legacy. Your daily choices create patterns and values that influence your future self and those around you. You become a role model for discipline, purpose, and integrity. This legacy extends beyond achievements to the kind of person you become. This mindset demands courage. It requires stepping into responsibility and ownership without excuses. Courage pushes you to face discomfort, uncertainty, and failure. It fuels action despite fear and doubt. Living fully each day is an act of bravery that transforms your life. Every decision becomes meaningful when you live with this focus. From how you spend your time to how you speak and act, everything contributes to your life's shape. This holistic awareness increases your sense of control and empowerment. Living like every day matters nurtures hope. It reminds you that no matter your current situation, your future is shaped by what you do now. This hope inspires resilience and creativity in solving problems and pursuing goals. This mindset encourages reflection. Regularly reviewing how you spend your days helps you align actions with your vision. Reflection leads to adjustments that improve your path and deepen your commitment. This ongoing refinement makes your growth intentional and effective. Living intentionally each day enhances your ability to manage distractions. You develop discipline to say no to things that do not serve your purpose. This focused energy directs your efforts toward meaningful achievements. This daily awareness reduces regret. When you consistently choose actions that align with your values and goals, you minimize moments of wishing you had done differently. This peace of mind increases your happiness and contentment. Living as if today shapes your whole life creates gratitude for small victories. You celebrate progress no matter how minor, recognizing its role in your larger journey. This positive reinforcement sustains your motivation and joy. This approach builds a strong connection between vision and action. You translate abstract dreams into concrete daily steps. This clarity transforms hope into achievement. Living with this focus encourages generosity and kindness. When you value your days, you naturally extend that respect to others. Your actions create positive impact beyond yourself, enriching your community. This mindset teaches patience. You understand that meaningful growth unfolds gradually. Patience keeps you steady and committed through ups and downs. Living each day with purpose nurtures joy. You find satisfaction in the process of growth and the present moment. This joy sustains you and enriches your experience. In summary, living each day like it shapes your whole life empowers you to take ownership of your journey. It transforms ordinary moments into powerful steps toward your highest self. This daily discipline creates momentum, clarity, resilience, and fulfillment. By embracing this mindset, you become the architect of your destiny, turning intentions into reality and dreams into lasting achievement.